publicity or advertisement, Bill Gates once said, is a happy customer. Somebody you have served well, and then the person goes to tell your story. That's how I want to say good morning to you on CRTV today and say thank you for choosing to wake up with us. We are deeply sorry we had to start a bit late, but some days our machines dictate the time we'll start, and for that, we are very sorry. Now we are starting with news. We want to update you on what has been happening in and around the country in case you haven't been able to watch our late editions of the news. Here we go.
According to Thomas Babisagana, a financial engineer, is weak. To strengthen and boost it, the government needs to accelerate its transformation with him by creating industries that produce bauxite, electricity, industries that require massive employment and human capital.
The objective of this function is for us to engage with the government and also the private sector in Cameroon to get a better understanding and to share ideas on what can be done as far as human capital is concerned.
This company provides human capital development solutions to public and private sector and is ready to help Cameroon attain emergence.
The single most important thing that we bring to Cameroon is our experience in developing human capital over almost 3 decades. We've worked in different markets under different conditions with different governments, and in all of these we have worked with them to develop their human capital in a sustainable manner so that there is no over-reliance on us. We will work to make sure that it's sustainable.
During the forum, some experts also dealt on different topics such as how to build a competitive and sustainable business in Cameroon, and is it worthwhile investing in human capital?
Aflatoxins being one of the dangerous mycobacteria infesting and destroying grains of corn, sorghum and even cassava before, during and after harvest has been plaguing the agro-productivity of the farmers of the North region. The Agricultural Investment and Market Development Project, better known as PITMA, has brought farmer cooperatives together in order to propose possible solutions.
One of our objectives is to ameliorate the quality of product delivered to the agro-industry. In this direction, we have to sensitize our producer to get good quality product to deliver to the agro-industry.
With the infestations dangerous to health and even cancerous, experts advise for the destruction of crops once contaminated.
After harvest, if there are crops who are not good, you have to remove them, and you don't have to give to the animals.
Following the North Farmer Cooperatives battling these challenges, the North Regional Delegate of Agriculture and Rural Development has promised PITMA a helping hand.
The Regional Delegation of Agriculture and Rural Development has a special service that can work together with the PITMA and to alleviate dangers arising from aflatoxins.
PITMA will henceforth hold working sessions with the North farmers in order to ensure high-quality agricultural products are put to the market.
Harmonized footsteps, respecting the rhythm of music from the band, chanting patriotic songs, youths in the littoral region walked hand in hand to prove their attachment to the ideas of peace and togetherness. This huge crowd walked across streets in the nation's economic capital, synchronizing their movements to reflect the virtues of peace, patriotism, the promotion of national integrity, and unity that Cameroonians protect jealously. Speaking during the patriotic walk, the regional president of the Cameroon Youth Council for the Littoral, Isaim Bokt, emphasized that Cameroon remains one and indivisible. Yes to the promotion of bilingualism and multiculturalism were some messages these students sent across. The patriotic walk, organized by the National Youth Council and attended by hundreds of youths, was an exercise that magnifies peaceful cohabitation, solidarity, social cohesion, and the development of a sense of national belonging.
Fini les Jeux universitaires. Les milliers d'étudiants repartent dans leurs institutions respectives. Mais avec en esprit le processus d'enrôlement biométrique des étudiants bénéficiaires de la promesse des 500 000 ordinateurs décidés par le président de la République, Paul Biya. Le processus avance normalement au sein des institutions publiques et privées de l'enseignement supérieur en général et particulièrement à l'université de Tchang.
Notre université a 33 354 étudiants inscrits. 33 354. Sur les 33 354, il y a 24 401 exactement étudiants enrôlés. Nous sommes présents sur 6 régions parmi les 10.
Le recteur explique à la presse les modalités pratiques d'inscription en ligne.
Le chef de l'État a dit que ce sont les étudiants de l'année en cours, dans 2016-2017. À l'université de Tchang, comme je vous l'explique, le processus d'enrôlement sera achevé au plus tard dans une semaine. Nous ferons les vérifications nécessaires. Une fois que ces vérifications seront consolidées par les chefs d'établissement, sans contestation aucune des étudiantes et des étudiants, nous remonterons la liste au chancelier des ordres académiques en disant, en ce qui concerne l'université de Tchang, nous sommes parés.
Le professeur Tafak Nanfotso a saisi la rencontre avec la presse pour saluer la bonne organisation des 20e Jeux universitaires Bamenda 2017.
Hymne à la glorification de l'être suprême, prières, enseignements et témoignages. C'est dans cette ambiance que s'est déroulée la cérémonie d'ouverture de la conférence nationale du campus de la vie profonde 2017. Bethel entendait bâtir, équiper et transformer, établir les libertés chrétiennes. Bethel se veut un mouvement en marche pour la libération des talents, de l'élévation des étudiants au sommet de leurs attentes, tant professionnelles que sociales.
Ce programme, c'est notre conférence nationale de les enseignants et les étudiants dans les institutions supérieures.
Au menu de cette conférence, des séminaires sur comment vaincre les obstacles de la recherche d'emploi, l'entrepreneuriat et comment trouver l'âme sœur, entre autres. Les enseignements qui ont été donnés ici se sont appuyés principalement sur les Saintes Écritures.
Hormis du plan académique, nous avions vu que c'est bien beau, on peut avoir de l'expertise, on peut avoir de l'intelligence, on peut être investi avec beaucoup de potentialité. Mais si Dieu n'est pas derrière, parfois on peut se retrouver en train d'échouer.
La conférence nationale du campus de la vie profonde 2017 s'est déroulée en présence du chef de cabinet du gouverneur de la région du littoral, Alain Blaise Bicou.
Dans un air de fête que l'association des femmes braves participantes au développement de la Vina a célébré sa sortie officielle. La salle de fête du collège Sainte-Eugène de Mazonote a fait son plein d'œufs. Déjà 300 femmes inscrites à cette association, alors même que les listes sont encore ouvertes. Une association dont les objectifs sont connus.
Nous voulons que les femmes démunies, bien qu'on les appelle ainsi, sortent de leur sommeil et qu'elles entrent aussi dans la vie des femmes actives, parce que beaucoup c'est pour moi sous le soleil, sous la pluie, nuit et jour, et nous voulons que ces femmes puissent aussi être galvanisées dans les jours à venir.
Des cris de joie et des youyou rendent presque inaudibles les différentes oratrices de la circonstance, regroupées par groupe d'affinité, liées par l'appartenance au même quartier. Ces femmes explosent de sympathie à chaque fois qu'une d'entre elles est appelée à l'estrade. Dans son allocution, la présidente des Femmes Braves a rappelé qu'à chaque fois qu'un homme est debout, qu'il émet un sourire ou encore lorsqu'il peut travailler aisément, c'est parce qu'une femme a abattu un travail titanesque en amont. Pour mieux accomplir ce travail, même dans ses vieux jours, elle a demandé à chacune d'entre elles de souscrire à l'assurance volontaire de la CNPS. L'Association des femmes braves participantes au développement de la VINA a du pain sur la planche, ceci au vu du nombre de personnes qu'il faut encore conquérir.
Now that you're brief, it's time for us to throw you back memory lane, and we're taking you back to CRTV in 1988, precisely in December. But before that, let me tell you a story. This man used to be called Lapiro, or simply Lapiro de Mbanga. That's how he chose to be called when he started to sing. And today we're trying to remember Lapiro de Mbanga. That actually, with the images you're seeing, is said by many to be one of the last concerts for public appearances he gave. This was in Buffalo, in New York City, where he was singing. I want to remind you, Lapiro de Mbanga was an artist from the literary region. He was called Sanjo Pierre Roger, and he was born on April 7. Just if he was alive, he might have just have been celebrating his birthday, and he was born in 1957. He died on the 16th of March 2014 in Buffalo, in New York. He started singing in the 80s and recorded Pas d'argent, no love in 1985. Pas d'argent, no love. Many people say that actually is a song that set him on the path of glory. And that song was done with Heizam Records. He has invariably been described as the man with biting words, because he took a full chew at anything he thought was an impediment to success and well-being. And if he felt anything, he said it openly and clear. I'm sure that if I opened a discussion with you, you have a lot to tell me about Lapiro, and we could be here till tomorrow to talk about him. And sometimes you could be right, but today I've chosen to remember the artist, because whatever else he was, Lapiro de Mbanga was a great artist. He sang and he moved a lot of people. One of the songs that actually many people remember is No Mekerer, which during the recent females can that we had in Cameroon, some adverts use that song. You could remember chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. It's actually a famous way of speaking that is coming from Lapiro de Mbanga. We are just seeing the images of tributes that were paid to him when he died. These are images that came from Buffalo. That's the city where he died. These are Cameroonians. And tributes like this, they happen in many cities in different parts of the world, even here in Cameroon, to remember Lapiro de Mbanga. We thought this morning we could say a big hug to all those who remember him, to his family, which is based in the United States, and to say he remains an artist. And to remind you what a great artist Lapiro de Mbanga was, let me give you a retro clip of today. We are taking you, as I said, to December 1988. And please, no presentation, no more words, just watch this and enjoy.
Et d'instant, Scott Club, jusqu'à 7 heures.
Lapiro Mbanga, if he was alive, he would just be coming out from celebrating his birthday again, and he was born in April. We thought we could remember him because he had a talent like people will rarely meet in this day. Well, what you actually watched there was Telepodium in 1988, in December 1988, and at that time it was presented by Elvis Kemayu. We couldn't bring you the full version of that clip because just the presentation of Lapiro Mbanga was so powerful. Elvis Kemayu was swamped, was actually completely filled by noise of excited people waiting to have Lapiro on scene. All right, we thought we'd throw you back enough. Let's take you to what the stars are saying today. And Joyce Abigail kept a package for you on precisely what you need to know today about your stars before you step out. Let's go.
Hello, you're welcome to the horoscope. We start with the first born of the house, Aries. Good morning. Your symbol is the ram. Today, Aries, telling the truth and making someone cry is better than telling a lie and making someone smile. You might just have a lot in common with Mabingo. Mabingo Isabel. That is Cameroon's lioness who happens to be an Aryan. Taurus second born, your symbol is the bull. Good morning. You have been hurt by words before. So before you speak yourself today, think about how your words might affect someone else. Does the name Patience Mani Christine ring a bell? Well, that is a Cameroonian lioness. Gemini, your symbol is the twins. Good morning. You've been thinking a lot, but today, learn to be happy with what you have while you pursue all you want. Say hello to a famous Gemini, Deborah and Genamoy Gael, Cameroon's lioness. Cancer, good morning. Your symbol is the crab. Don't rush. Healing is not an overnight process. It is a daily cleansing of pain. It is a daily routine in life. Take your time and go through it. A famous Cancerian, Ngo Mbak Mbatum. Leo, good morning. Your symbol is the lion. Leo, two things will foster your success in life. The way you manage when you have nothing and the way you behave when you have everything. Her name is Eberengozi. She is one of Nigeria's super eagles. She is a proud Leo. Virgo, good morning. Your symbol is the Virgin. Remember the three C's of life: choices, chances, and changes. You must make a choice to take a chance or your life will never change. Sit back and find out more about Cameroon's lioness, Jacquette Ada, cause you sure have a lot in common. We're on to Libra. Good morning. Your symbol is the scales. Libra, let it go. Forgiving people who have hurt you is your gift to them. Forgetting people who have hurt you is your gift to yourself. Hello to this powerful Libran, Michelle Ngonomani. That is Cameroon's lioness. Scorpio, good morning. Your symbol is the scorpion. Now, Scorpio, don't expect too much today. Let it occur to you that when you learn how to accept instead of expecting, you would have fewer disappointments as far as life is concerned. A famous Scorpio, Cameroon's lioness, Yvonne Luco. Sagittarius, good morning. Your symbol is the archer. Take note of the different roles people will play in your life today. Some will test you, some will use you, some will love you, and some will teach you. But the ones that are important are the ones who will bring out the best in you. They are the rare and amazing people who remind you why it's worth it. Keep track with the Nigerian super eagle, Osinachi Ohale, a famous Sagittarius. And on to Capricorn, 10th born. Good morning. Your symbol is the goat. Don't give people the power to decide for you. Believe in yourself. Understand that no one has the right to reign on your dreams. A famous Capricorn, Cameroonian female football star, Ajara Chut Njoya. Aquarius, 11th born. Good morning. Symbol, the water bearer. Bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any one thing. However, give yourself a break today. Your cure today is a good laugh and a long sleep. Hello to our own Gabriel Abudi Ongene, Cameroon's lioness and Pisces. Good morning. Your symbol is the fish. Today you might have trust problems with your cycle of friends. However, ignore those people who talk about you behind your back. That's where they belong, behind your back. A famous Python, Nkada Agnes, Cameroon's female football star. Happy birthday, the bells are ringing if you're born on this day. Now we talk your personality traits. When it comes to the positive side of you, you are a very strong, stable, and you have a calming influence on people around you. What says your negatives? You can be very lazy, you can hold a grudge for a really long time, and in many cases, you let your emotions get the better half of you. Happy birthday to you all. Have a blast and keep watching Hello Cameroon.
Right now, it's time for me to wish happy birthday to some persons who are very dear to us. And first on that list is Musa Marandata. I'm about to surprise some persons because you would definitely not be thinking that we are thinking of you, but you are right here. And we are wishing you happy birthday, Musa Marandata. Joyeux anniversaire, Berdam. Happy birthday to Franklin Benjika. Happy birthday as well to Fonba Gideon, Ndiwamba Edison, and Pius Kifon. Good morning to all of you. If you happen to be watching us or somebody very close to you is watching us, happy birthday. And you know our message, take the day and run with it. It's only 24 hours. And by the end of today, by midnight, you hear a bell and you know it's like Cinderella shoes. So please enjoy your day. And hopefully tomorrow you'll be ready to start a new year, because for you a new year starts. Right now, let's talk about the fight against epilepsy. We're about to talk some more health because today we're talking about asthma. But before we go to talk more about asthma, let's talk about the fight against epilepsy with Teke Elvis.
This is the Mary Heart of Africa Hospital, Fontaine. Never has it been as busy as it was during this health campaign to provide free consultations and treatment to people suffering from epilepsy, diabetes, skin infections, and other endemic diseases. The team of medical specialists drawn from several countries, including Cameroon, is led by Dr. George Bwele, a Cameroonian who recently won a CNN Hero Award for his efforts to fight against epilepsy in Cameroon.
I'm so grateful to be part of this big campaign concerning epilepsy and other kind of illness. As you saw yourself, we received more than 500 people who came for different kind of illness. And luckily we have a neurologist who handle all the epileptic cases, and they will receive drugs for free.
The health campaign is organized by a humanitarian organization, the Gebre Bebong Bechem Foundation for Epilepsy and Mental Health, based in the United States of America.
He was back in 2013 in Maryland. He was visiting. He came actually to receive an award, and I met him in my brother's house, and he was talking about what he does. And I said, yeah, that is a good idea. That's what I love doing also. And I said, whenever they have a mission just let me know. I would love to be part of that mission. So we organized one actually in my father's honor in my home village, Awing. So after that mission, I went back and I said, what can we do? The Awing people were saying, when are you guys coming back? I said, that would be selfish to say, let's focus only in Awing. Let's take them someplace else. How about Fontem?
Among the hundreds of people who have come to receive the free consultations and treatment is this 21-year-old student suffering from epilepsy.
I had the illness, so I prepared myself to hide myself to say no. But it's surprising to see that all over, I see many people. I'll call on those that are home, that are hiding from themselves to take the treatment. Though the treatment is free, that wherever they are, even if it's not free, wherever they are, they should come more for it.
Medical findings indicate that epilepsy is common in Fontem because of some infections that affect the nervous system.
Epilepsy is particular in that it is a neurological condition which is characterized by chronic repeated seizures, that's repeated convulsions. And usually there are several myths or misconceptions about epilepsy, that people think it is contagious, or they think it is something that is caused by witchcraft. And it makes it that the patients develop some stigma in respect to that illness. Now, with respect to this locality, it's like there are many patients suffering from epilepsy in this particular area. And usually in areas in Cameroon where you have many people suffering with epilepsy, infections have been incriminated, mostly infections that can involve the nervous system and especially the brain.
The people of Fontem in particular and Le Bialem in general have greatly thanked the humanitarian organization for coming to their aid.
I'm happy, fun today to see that a team of medical experts of this magnitude can come to my fondo to help the people of my fondo and the people of the Bialem as a whole, because our people have suffered. Government is playing their own role to see that the people can get the most they can, and a team like this comes to equally supplement the efforts of government.
This activity is taking place today in order to identify some illnesses our people are facing and try to see how they can be remedied. And that's why we signed a convention with our foundation in order to alleviate the suffering of our people. That's why we are here, the Belen Fund, represented by me here, in order to show appreciation to this organization.
Besides epilepsy, many other patients were treated with eye problems, skin infections, diabetes, tumors, HIV, AIDS, severe malaria, and a lot more.
Thank you very much, Julius Teke, for that report. And we'll continue in health, as I told you, because we now have two very beautiful ladies, but they are medical doctors, and we're going to be talking about health and asthma. Today is World Asthma Day, and I have Dr. Kanko Nadine. She's a resident she calls it pulmonologist here in Yaoundé. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Happy to have you on the program.
Thank you.
And you're here with Dr. Ngadi Patience, who is a general practitioner at the Jamo Hospital. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, madam.
Thank you for waking up with the CRTV.
Thank you, too.
All right. I'm going to start with you, though, because I want to understand asthma in Cameroon. What is the situation of asthma in Cameroon?
Actually, asthma is a very common disease, but mostly not very diagnosed because of the presenting symptoms that might not be known by the population. Okay. In Cameroon, we have about more than 300,000 millions of people suffering from asthma. But now the major symptoms that
should be more than 300,000.
Millions of the population.
Okay, all right.
In Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but then the major symptoms that can make the patient consult for asthma are breathlessness, cough, dry cough, most especially chest tightness.
Okay.
And yes, I think those are the main symptoms
okay.
that mostly occur at night. So if a patient feels these symptoms, those are the main symptoms that may lead the patient to consult a medical doctor.
All right. And in children, is it different? Are there some things that you might want to give parents so that they can know that these are signs that should make you take your child to the hospital?
In children, it's not that specific like in adults because children cannot express themselves. I think the major symptom in the child will be the difficulty in breathing. That the child might have a little cough, but it's mostly difficulties in breathing. But normally we know that every parent, once your child is already in a difficult state, be it the breathing or the cough, obviously you will lead the parent to go to the hospital.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Kanko. I want to find out, Dr. Ngadi, let's turn to Dr. Kanko. On a day like this, when you say World Asthma Day, what do you do? I suppose there is a theme, but tell us first about the theme, but also about the activities of a day like this.
Okay. Today we are celebrating the 20th International Asthma Day. So the theme for this year is Better Air, Better Breathing.
Okay.
So what we have planned to do this year is that we'll go to different high schools, sensitize the students and their teachers about asthma, tell them how it comes about, how it's supposed to be treated, so that they should be more aware of the illness. Because many people don't know it, many people just take it for a normal infection. Well, it's not an infection, it's something that is chronic, and once you're on treatment, you can live with it without necessarily feeling the discomfort that the disease brings when you're well treated.
You're talking about better breathing, and I'm beginning to think that asthma has something to do with the quality of air near you. Do you want to help us understand? Give us a little bit of what you'll be giving in schools, because I know there are many more persons there who will not have that luck to listen to you.
Okay. What do I mean by better breathing? Better breathing, first, because asthma is a disease that affects the airways. So once the person is affected, he doesn't breathe well because the pipes that take in air to the lungs, they become narrow, that's a contract. The small mucus that is secreted, that further narrows these pipes. So better breathing is we try to intervene so that the patients breathe better. That's by giving drugs that will increase the size of this pipe or maintain them open, giving education on different
lifestyle changes,
the different things that the patient have to avoid, because most of the time asthma is also associated to allergies or hypersensitivity to different objects that we find in our environment. So telling the patient maybe if places are cold, you need to cover yourself. If they are sweeping, I know that usually dust disturbs you, you need to move away from the place. If you are allergic to spiders, let's say, maybe in the house they need to avoid to have carpets and all the rest, which usually are breeding grounds for all these type of insects.
Dr. Ngadi, she's talking there about allergy, and allergy is not something I hear often around me. So I know people who've grown to the mature, ripe ages of maybe 40, 60 without ever a word like allergy being mentioned about them. So is it something we should worry about? Especially, now I want you to talk to parents. When you have children, is that something you should worry about?
Obviously, we should worry about allergy. Because now we are talking about asthma, and we discover that asthma is mostly linked to allergy. That it can be the crisis. Asthma acute crisis can be provoked by an allergy. If for example, a child does not eat a particular food, like some children can be allergic to crayfish. You can see a child eating crayfish and immediately he has difficulties in breathing, and that may lead the parent to take the child to the hospital, and some specific exams will be carried on the child, and that's carried by certain doctors called allergologists. So they will now identify the specific substance to which the child is allergic, and they will put a treatment online for the child to never to come in contact with that particular item again or substance in future, so as to prevent any other crisis. So normally allergy should be identified because it can kill.
I'm going to ask both of you very quickly though to give a word of caution, a word of advice, or a word of hope to parents. I'll start with you.
Okay. Asthma, though being a chronic disease, can be treated. It's true in acute crisis most patients and family members panic because you have this child that is choking. It's like choking. The person cannot breathe, and the first thing you think of, what can I do? So we want to advise the population, the first thing they should do is to lead the patient to the hospital, because some acute crisis can lead immediately to death.
Okay. All right.
So that's the first thing they should do, go to your medical doctor.
If you find your child or anybody around you having difficulty breathing, Dr. Ngadi says the first thing you should do is run to the hospital, because some of that can be fatal. Let me turn to Dr. Kako. If you're giving a last word of advice to anybody, what will you say?
I'll say asthma is a chronic disease, as she earlier said, and to every chronic illness, there's a lifelong treatment.
Okay.
Which means that if they put you on asthma treatment today, it's not because you're feeling fine that you should abandon your treatment. Once you abandon the treatment, all the symptoms will come back. So always make sure you take your treatment forever.
Thank you so much. It's a chronic disease, but then it has a lifelong treatment, and you need to take it like you go to church, religiously. Thank you very much, ladies, for coming. Have a beautiful day. Do you people know a plant that is used to treat the ear? Do you people know that? They don't. Oh, okay. Well, somebody is going to teach these ladies something. So, Parfai is standing by to talk to us about a plant that is used to treat ear problems, but also can be used to treat STDs. Please let's stay more with him.
Hello, Cameroon viewers. Another wonderful Tuesday morning. And I'm telling you, researchers, those who are sick of one or two problems, that this plant can heal. Here you have the remedy. This is last time I talked about the Jotofa. If you look at it, they're all of the same family. But there's a way to identify the difference. This one is hairy. If you look at if you look at this very closely, you see it is hairy, and the leaves are really divided. Have them here, 4. Then look at it. It grows hair. But the botanical name is 1, and the same as they call it. But what I want to tell you is this. This particular plant, from the experience I've had and the results from patients who have taken this plant, I want to tell you it's indeed a wonderful plant that we are giving Hello viewers. We are revisiting this plant. The roots, here I'm not talking about the leaves, because if you look at it, the liquid is almost the same, but there's some slight difference. The liquid of the white one, is thicker than this one, and you can get it in good quantity. Though you use the other one more for ear problems, and it's also good for venereal diseases, this one is wonderful, wonderful, but I don't think I will lose this one. The roots, you just take this. I don't want to lose this one now because I want to regenerate it. When you take the roots of this, you remove the roots, just cut it up, mostly the tap root. So you have to grow it to be in good quantity. Here we can only go right down because the thing has reproduced. I brought this one that is growing here. This is the grandchild of the one I brought from Lusaka. You see, when you take the root, you pound the root with just one. I have seen it. I am not saying that it is a cure. I'm saying that it is management for viral problems. Because I've seen people who were weak, terribly weak, diarrhea, loss of weight, loss of appetite, and they take this one, and I want to tell you that it was wonderful. I had to pay, as I said, all of my per diem to get this after that lady presented it in the conference in Lusaka. And it has reproduced here. Unfortunately, I am not regretting how much I spent because I have seen it growing in Bafia and other areas, which therefore means it is in good quantity here in Cameroon. And it is good for Hello viewers to see. When they take it, we prepare, boil. We boil well, sifter, and give them. This time, it is in spoons. Listen again carefully. The desert spoon, the tablespoon, that's the desert one, take 5 in a glass and you drink. You continue like that for some time. In a month's time, you realize that your appetite has increased, your weight is coming back, the fever is disappearing. Please take note, I'm not saying that it has treated HIV. Yes. That's a solution for that. But I'm telling you, well, let us say the opportunistic, infections or problems associated with it, it treats it. Most important, we don't want to die. We want to live. And if we realize most people are passing away because of the opportunistic infections. So, viewers, look at it. Researchers, that is it. Come up, carry out your research. I know most people have they have results on this. After the presentation of this, even the white lady who presented it in Zambia, it is because of research that she has carried out, and she came and presented it to us. I brought it to Cameroon, brought it to Cameroon, planted it, and I realized it is all over. So viewers, for this Tuesday morning, this is a wonderful $1 million plant. Pray the Almighty and ancestors to keep us till next Tuesday. We will be together. And let it be a happy Tuesday morning to all of you. Hello, Cameroon fans.
It's indeed a happy and a wonderful Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you also, Pafai, and thank you for being there each Tuesday to tell us about our environments. You see, you tell us things we don't know, and you teach us. Thank you for that. Well, let's talk. On the Monday was Labor Day, and one of the things that happened, which is a little bit out of our usual we march, we eat, we drink, we greet our bosses, and we thank God for another day and pray that we'll have more energy to work again. Some persons with disability decided to come together, have a conference to discuss their challenges, but not only that, they also offered support to some people like them who have challenges at work. Please, let's watch this. This is put together by Gwendolyn Egbe.
I was not born blind. I became blind when I was 15 years old, and I thought that all was finished. I even wanted to suicide because I couldn't imagine somebody living without his sight. So 3 years after, I went to Rehabilitation Institute for the Blind, and I was trained there for 2 years. That's where I can say that my eyes opened. I discovered that person with visual impairment can walk just as any other one. And after my training with a friend of mine, Martin Luther, we create our association, this CEJAC association, and we have been working for persons with disability since that time. In our society now, you have many people who are blind, who was trained in our organization, and who are working and really bring satisfaction to their employee. I've written a book entitled À la poursuite d'un rêve. This is the testimony of my life that can really be helpful for those who want to know how a person with an handicap can succeed. I'm a father of 5 kids. I try to take care. I try to help them to study in the house. I'm a teacher. I teach not only the person with visually impaired. I teach in a normal school. I can teach people. I'm a musician, as you know. So I have so many activities, and I try to show to persons with disability that you are able.
He is just trying to be modest, for he is all these and more. His handicap has never been an impediment, though we can't say the same for many others. There are about 3 million people living with disabilities in Cameroon. A handful are bosses, majority are jobless, very few are being taken care of by family, while some are outrightly lazy. This conference was organized to address the plight of handicaps who are willing to work with talents and certificates but are sidelined because of their handicap.
Les entreprises se limitent beaucoup plus au handicap.
He has a professional degree in communication and marketing but hasn't been able to secure a job because he is blind. This mister, on his part, was lucky enough to become a masseuse in France and earns quite some cash from it to be able to live a comfortable life. That notwithstanding, they all have a common nightmare, going through each day in the hostile societies in which they live. What many employers are oblivious of is that having a handicap as an employee with the right measures put in place is a bonus.
Collaborators who don't move around during break, they are there in the office, ready to treat the file and to give you better results.
A deaf or dumb has no time for idle gossip, since they can't hear or talk, and so have the whole time to concentrate on their work.
The structure I had is in charge of the social protection of this group of persons. And we have a policy, there is a government policy for these people, for the protection and the promotion of the rights of these people, which the ministry is implementing. We assist these people according to the policies laid down by the states to the Ministry of Social Affairs. The ministry is there for them. The ministry hasn't got, ready-made stuff, ready-made assistance to offer to them. That is why the ministry works in partnership with many social partners who come in to support these people under the ministry.
Some of these disabled are more efficient than the abled and can do better if, while building tall administrative buildings without lifts and too many steps even for the abled, they are taken into consideration. Also, they should be given equal opportunities to get jobs. Someone once asked us to live life with this thought: don't say you can't be disabled until death. I can't agree with him more. And at the same time, let's take our heights, for instance. Those who are too tall feel handicapped in some situations. So too those who are short. If you think you aren't handicapped because you're of average height, yours is worse, for you suffer the handicap of both the tall and short.
The advice that I can give is to be courageous, is to believe in our faith, because it's not difficult, it's not easy to live with our handicap. So we must believe in us, we must try to improve condition of our life. They have rights. They also have the duty, so they can improve themselves, they can emerge in the society and live like everyone.
All in all, they, as we, hope for change, a change that will make them have a sense of belonging.
Thank you very much, Gwendoline Egbe. Truth about life is each and every one of us is disabled in one way or another. And when you discover in what way you are disabled, then you are better off than others. If you can say, I'm blind, then you are starting to solve your problem. If you can say, find out about your disability and do something about it, and you'll see you'll be a whole lot better. That's the message I'm getting from Coco Bertin. I hope he's watching. I know he might not be watching, but I hope he's listening to us. Good morning, Coco Bertin. Thank you for being an inspirer today on Hello Cameroon. It's 7 o'clock. It's the time of the day when we receive a beautiful lady called Patricia Leba Mrs. Mutukson, and she's right here with me. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm
And
actually
you?
very happy to have you here right now.
And I'm happy to see you.
And I have something very sweet for you. It's not regular stuff.
Yeah.
You see?
I can guess.
Oh,
it looks
yeah.
red. It looks good. It looks good. Oh.
But first, let's give a gracious morning or a gracious good morning to our viewers and inform them about what's been happening in and around the country. It's 7 o'clock. to chit-chat a bit because
Okay.
our machines are doing the things that they like to do. I might want to ask you, though, how is your week looking like? You have anything special? Your hairdo looks like you're ready for business. Not work business. So, something up?
If my hair looks like it's not work business, yours definitely gets the same definition because it's almost the same colors.
Somebody called my hair cheveux de feu. You know, Raha?
Yeah.
Did you used to watch one thing called? And I was like, oh, really? I was going to wear red. Then I was like, take it gently, gradually.
Red plus that. No, then that's not professional too, no?
So, why am I... Look at my table very well. Ask yourself, why am I offering this today? It's
your
unfortunate for you
birthday.
out there, you can't see what we're talking about. But let me just give you some tips. Something sweet, very sweet. The raw material of that is sometimes from Cameroon. Has some milk in it. What else?
Got some milk in it.
And yeah. So yeah, maybe you know it. If
And
you
that
don't,
particular stuff brought problems to somebody because the person actually bought it for themselves and kept at home. And
Actually, this one is
at the
called-
end of the day, the closest neighbor
was like,
said,
where is
okay,
this from?
Where is that name from? If someone gave you that, it means...
You carry something sweet called Mon Chéri, and then you don't want to have a problem at home. You should be some kind of somebody. Don't ask us where the news is. We know it's 7 o'clock, a little past that. Our machines are playing tricks with us, but don't worry. We are up for the tricks as well, and we are fit to keep the game running until your news is set. But, of course, Patricia is here. Whenever the machines smile with us, then we'll be smiling with you. Tell me about your weekend, though. That's the last time we saw us last week.
Last Thursday.
Anything interesting? You know we need to be boring people like that. Until then.
Boring.
Oh, no, we stop here because I've got signal that the machines are ready for us. So, let's get the news.
Gracious morning and thanks for joining our TV for the 7 a.m. edition of the news. Workers resume work today after observing a pause yesterday to commemorate Labor Day, a day that was marked by march pasts across the national territory. In the early hours of Monday in Yaoundé, the day was marked by a grand parade staged by over 4,000 workers of the public and private sectors to blend workplace emergencies and social dialogue. The march past was presided out by the Minister of Labour and Social Security in the presence of other government ministers. Constantine Baum reports on the day's activities.
One of the ceremony was for speeches. Mr. Jiben Zana Olongo and Andre Semenseme spoke on behalf of the employees, with both speakers first appreciating the efforts carried out by the state to ameliorate the working conditions of Cameroonians, and then asking the employers to fully respect the laws that guarantee and protect the privileges of the workers. The key speech was that of the Minister of Labour and Social Security, Gregoire Ouna, who exhorted employers to respect the collective conventions signed to better the working conditions of their respective employees. He also assured Cameroonians that as the country strives to attain emergence, the government will continue to implement measures that will enable the workforce get the best. Cameroonians are celebrating under the theme Social Dialogue, Economic Growth and National Cohesion.
There are two main workers who can have diverging interests, the worker and the employee. For all of them, and then there is the probability that because of divergent interests, there are going to be differences and tension in the workplace. So there is that need for social dialogue so that people could be able to understand themselves and work towards a common goal. And it's only when people understand themselves that they can work, and when they work in a good, serene climate, that is when the enterprise can produce more.
Phase 2 was for the march past that saw thousands of workers taking part. This day is also an opportunity for all the employers to sell the image of their companies, as workers came out in T-shirts of all colors as well as in different fabrics. The competition between the companies is very evident. Some can afford only T-shirts, while other companies are able to have a new fabric for each Labor Day celebration. The workers after this march past will once more meet at a respective rendezvous point for phase 3 of the celebration, made up of eating, drinking and dancing.
And the parade at the 20th May Boulevard was preceded by a series of speeches by union leaders, some fighting and others blowing their employers and government potential on those left undone in the search for equity and social justice at the workplace. Clarisse listened to those contrasting views as expressed by the union leaders, and here is her report.
The 20th May Boulevard this May 1st in Yaoundé. Workers from various sectors came to celebrate this day under the theme Social Dialogue, Economic Growth and National Cohesion. In the official ceremony, 3 major speakers. First was the president of the Confederation of International Trade Unions in Cameroon, Gilbert Nzana Olongo, who placed the celebrations in a context marked by terrorism and protests of workers from various sectors. He called on peace and order to reign in order to build a unified and stable Cameroon. He also called on competent authorities to revisit the retirement system. The leader of the Confederation of Free Trade Unions, André Seme, in his address which followed, expressed strong disapproval of bodies with no proper organization of personal status and retirement benefits. He called on leaders of the various sectors to encourage dialogue which promotes economic development. The Minister of Labour and Social Security, Gregoire Owona, then mounted the podium. After talking of all efforts put in place by government in order to improve on working conditions, he called on trade unionists to be vigilant in all their activities and intensify the training of personnel. He also spoke on the importance of open-mindedness and responsibility in the pursuit of national peace and growth. The messages well appreciated.
These are speeches to encourage the workers for the year they have gone through. Effectively, in the speeches, all the mentions which were made, they were pertinent because there are same problems faced by workers all over the world.
The celebrations which have ended will hopefully usher in better working conditions in Cameroon.
And as you've seen, the workers in Yaoundé started their day with a 2.5-hour parade at the May 20th Boulevard, brandishing messages on placards and banners. If some of them were not allowed to march for failing to comply with the authorized flat-heel shoes, others paraded in such a spectacular manner that caught the attention of the crowd. Our reporter Moiti Waifo Akonjang, on her part, took interest in the site attractions of Labor Day Parade in Yaoundé. Her report.
Dignitaries watching, camera rolling. What better incentives for extra dancing while parading? While some marched enthusiastically to the rhythms of the brass bands, others did it solo to the rhythm of their own beat. Action speaks louder than words. The message taxi drivers conveyed about HIV/AIDS was loud and clear. Most of the ladies marching have understood the importance of low shoes, comfort over elegance, but not everyone got the memo. The heels that made their way in were not allowed on the lines. Neither were handbags, which found temporary owners. Some very interesting shoes did make an appearance, though, just like interesting hairdos, outfits, and mascots. If you didn't have the time to sew your fabric, just drape it over your shoulder and you're good to go. Away from the tribune, this order was the order of the day, creating comic relief for bystanders. Security and protocol dished out instructions, the heat of the day not making it easy. Despite this heat, an unusual whirlwind made its way to the parade grounds. And then there were those who didn't come to march, but for a drink or two, or to be entertained.
À tout le personnel de la CRTV, alors à monsieur le directeur général de la CRTV.
The CRTV for whom every shot counts, notwithstanding the posture it takes to capture it, leaving no stone unturned to give its viewers the best. The best of Labor Day, which even those who will go into labor soon were willing and happy participants.
And we'll take you over to the Littoral region where Veronica Benyela tells us how Labor Day was celebrated there. Her report.
131 public and private companies in rhythm with the 131st commemoration of Labor Day in Douala. A celebration that saw the award of labor medals of silver, bronze and gold to a cross-section of workers of various companies. Despite the high number of recipients, the governor of the Littoral region personally pinned the medals on the chest of the meritorious workers, proof of government's support to each sector that contributes to the evolution of the nation. Talking of awards, the Amazons of CRTV Littoral received the Inter-Service Female Tournament Football Cup to the encouragement and applause of the general public, while the prison guards of the New Bell Prison received the Male Cup. Amidst the social tensions witnessed in several structures in the city of Douala recently, workers still came out in their numbers, proudly parading in their company outfits, proving that Labor Day is not only a day to reflect on workers' plight, it is also a huge publicity parade for workers who are just grateful to have a job. Public services, industrial companies, utility enterprises, and service providers, they all turned out showing the economic power of the city of Douala and its employment potential. Despite 10 commissions to plan the celebration, the parade witnessed some disorder in the order of passage, stealing the glamour that the cluster of job description brings to such events. On a general note, it was a beautiful May Day in the city of Douala.
And out of Labor Day celebration, a delegation of Circle of Friends of Cameroon, CIRAC, are back in Yaoundé after a humanitarian outing to the Ocean Division of the South region. After donating generously to the population, the delegation made good of their stay out there to commune with the people and visit some tourist sites of the area. Beatrice Goom captured the sounds and sights of the trip. Her report.
We dance steps, beats from the traditional xylophone and music notes unique to the Ngumba and Fang people of Lolodov. The CIRAC women enjoyed another's culture with delight. A warm reception in an environment ideal for a weekend away from work, yet on philanthropic mission. A day before the women set off for their mission proper, they wined, dined and danced with the population in the localities of Bingambo, in Lolodov, and then in Kwambu, in Bipindi. A trip that saw them go into close contact with nature in its purest form. A tourist adventure with a historic touch as they also visited the edifice of Zenke, a colonial German who settled in Bipindi close to a century ago and is said to be the founding father of the locality. Zenke's heritage here is enormous. He introduced cocoa, rubber, coffee and many botanic plants in this area. He practically spent his entire life in Cameroon. Zenke's house still has its colonial day library, pictures of him and his lineage, the guide, a last standing descendant of Zenke himself. Also attributed to Zenke, the German cocoa, rubber and coffee exploiter, is the Indian bamboo that dominates street view in the entire division, amongst others. The first day of the CIRAC women's visit to Bipindi through Lolodov wrapped off with a cultural evening in honor of the women, with dance groups from different ethnic groups showcasing their dance styles.
And that's how we saw the 7 a.m. edition of the news. Up next with the news, 8 a.m. with Marie Lawrence-Kay, who will be bringing you the news in the French language.
And before then, though, there's a lot coming. In a short while, in our legal slot, we're talking about wrongful dismissal. If that speaks to you, stay with us. And sometime in this program, we did promise you we'll show you a little bit of what Emanuela, that little baby in Nigeria, what she's doing. Today, we have one of hers in our drama page. So stay with us. Patricia, do you want this?
Mon chéri.
Mon chéri. You want this?
Yeah.
If you want this, you have to catch an orange. Will you? You want this or you don't want? Hey, good girl. Here, have a chocolate.
Thank you.
All right. So have a beautiful day. I'll
Same
be
to you.
watching for Thursday to have you here again. Meantime, have a beautiful day ahead.
Same to you,
yeah. Right. Now, let me send this lady out here with a beautiful song. This song is called Zeli, and it's powerfully done. It's by Renise. I cannot present it more because I want you to discover it. Once again, this lady is at something. It is delicious. It's the kind of song you play when you want to, in French they'll say bercer, when you want to sing something like a lullaby to a baby. It could be a big baby like the ones we know at home. but it's a beautiful song. Renice, we love songs like that, and thank you for blessing our morning today. Now let's go. Let's go see what the papers have for us. And our man for the newspaper, or our man on the press review, is here. Morning, Sama, we missed you. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Poch. I'm fine, thank you.
You're not a very faithful guy, you know. You are with us, and then you disappear, and then...
No, I'm a faithful guy. I'm a very, very
okay, no, I didn't want to put you into trouble. I'm
a faithful guy. I know what context, professionally speaking, I'm a faithful guy. You know, it's you once in a while you're called upon for other duties here in CRTV. So you try as much as possible not to let your absence felt. But nobody's indispensable. In the absence of Baldwin, there will always be press review.
I tried to actually sit in for you a bit. So you owe me... a typical Cameroonian will say, owe me a beer. But no,
I'll get you.
That wouldn't be me. You owe me maybe a bonbon and a hug. Should I give me a... Oh, I love that. Mwah. I want another. Mwah. Another one. Mwah. Oh, you know, there's a girl called Edna. I hope she's not feeling bad. Don't worry, lady. It's avantage du métier. All right, let's give the press review before somebody bombs inside here. So what do we have as the headlines today?
We have many stories that do run through our newspapers. You know, yesterday was Labour Day 2017, the 131st edition of the International Labour Day. Most papers did not publish, and that's why this morning we begin our review with the first edition of Cameroon Tribune for the week, talking about this press conference that brought together four government ministers last Friday. The Minister of Communication, the Minister of Public Health, the Minister of Women's Empowerment and the Family, and the Minister of Social Affairs to talk about this decision by the President of the Republic to invite hospital ship to Cameroon as far as the treatment of rare diseases in Cameroon is concerned. Many Cameroonians suffering from rare diseases will now have smiles on their faces, given that this hospital ship called Mercy Ship Hospital will be in Cameroon from August 2017 to June 2018 to help treat so many patients suffering from rare diseases in Cameroon. That was confirmed during that press conference in Yaoundé last Friday. Read that story by getting a copy of today's edition of Cameroon Tribune newspaper. We stay with this same paper, Cameroon Tribune, this time to talk about the just ended 20th edition of the All University Games that took place on the campus of the University of Bamenda, with academic excellence rewarded at the end of the games. A special innovation from the President of the Republic of Cameroon, Paul Biya, who had made available special gifts to reward academic excellence for some outstanding students at the end of the 20th edition of the All University Games. Read that story by getting a copy of today's edition of Cameroon Tribune newspaper. We talk about Emergence newspaper published this Tuesday morning, talking about the Anglophone crisis. Catholic Church calls for effective decentralization. That's what is published in the front page of today's edition of the Emergence, with this recent National Episcopal Conference that took place from the 23rd of April to the 29th of April 2017, when these priests and bishops took the stand calling for effective decentralization as one of the key resolutions or key solutions to help put an end to the Anglophone crisis or the Anglophone problem in Cameroon. Read that story in this edition of Emergence newspaper. The Horizon newspaper published for this week, still talking about the Anglophone crisis, it talks about the relevance of the Musonge Commission, the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism, with the different members commissioned into office last weekend by the Prime Minister, head of government. How important is this National Commission going to be? With this paper talking about a member of that commission who says only general pardon for activists in prison and hiding will determine the commission's success. And still talking about the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism, we talk about the latest edition of the Guardian Post newspaper published this Tuesday morning, saying Anglophone problem, can the Musonge Commission tore the ice? That is what you can read in the Guardian Post newspaper published this Tuesday morning, saying it is the first mission of the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism would be to mediate between the government and disgruntled Anglophones in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. La Nouvelle newspaper this morning takes us to talk about government action and is trying as much as possible in this investigative report to throw more light on the worth of some present government ministers, what are the roles and how important are they as far as helping Cameroon to become emergent by 2035. Read that in this edition of La Nouvelle newspaper as we end with the latest edition of the Media People newspaper. Talks about late Boniface Fobin prior to World Press Freedom Day to be observed this Wednesday, May 3, 2017, saying how Boniface Fobin founded freedom program called Cameroon Reports, today known as Cameroon Calling, on national station. Boniface Fobin, who died recently, pioneer publisher of the Herald newspaper. In this edition of Media People, it also talks about some of these reporters, journalists trained in the Herald newspaper by late Boniface Fobin. Most of them are today publishers of different English language newspapers, others working with the Cameroon Radio Television, CRTV, and also with this edition of Media People, it also talks about some of the reasons as to why the Herald newspaper had to collapse, why the Herald newspaper no longer exists. Read that story by getting a copy of the latest edition of Media People.
Thank you so much, Bodin Sama, and we are definitely happy to have you back to show you how happy I am. I want to give you something nice. Do you like this?
Before getting that, sorry, I had this one.
Yes, please do that.
We reviewed this latest edition of Région Commune. Région Commune, it's a magazine that has to do with decentralization. It talks about the salaries of some mayors in Cameroon. Is it the end of the suspense as to mayors having salaries in Cameroon? That's the question being asked in this edition of Région Commune. Also in this edition of Région Commune, it talks about decentralization. Why is it so far difficult for it to be quite effective in some regions in Cameroon? With this investigative report in this edition of the magazine, it profiles the new governor of the Central Region, Nasere Paul Biya, and also takes you to discover Bipindi in the South Region, and profiles some senators in this latest edition of Région Commune. Région Commune that costs just 1,500 francs, and it is published by our own colleague, Joseph Emmanuel Bahana.
Okay, thank you so much. We hope that you grab a copy and get to know more about what is inside Région Commune. I was going to give you something sweet. You like that?
I will.
Okay. Here, serve yourself.
Thank you.
You want another one?
I'm a twin, so I always go for two. Thank you.
I used to hear that when I was growing up, and I was like, oh. Bodin, have a beautiful day.
Better one for
I'll
you.
be looking forward to seeing you on Thursday.
God willing.
Meantime, I'm also wishing a wonderful day to your twin brother. Now that we have to greet Bodin and greet the twin brother, so I don't have problem with twins. Don't follow me up. You know, in the village they say don't do something. I've greeted you. Bodin, bye.
Thank you.
Right, now let's talk our legal slot on the program. Today we're talking about wrongful dismissal. And there is this barrister solicitor in Douala. He's called Barrister Faye. And he sat down and put together some words of advice for you out there. Let's just listen to him.
The labor relationship between the employer and the employee can be terminated at any time by either party. But once you talk of dismissal, it can only be the employer to dismiss the employee and not vice versa. So, wrongful dismissal, the labor code has provided a procedure for dismissing a worker. And the basic procedure is 1, respect notice period, which varies between 15 days to 4 months, depending upon your category and your seniority. And issue a letter explaining the reason for the dismissal. In the absence of these two conditions, the dismissal becomes wrongful. You are always advised to see the experts, see the lawyer. Once you see the lawyer and explain exactly your case, he will be able to formulate a petition to the competent labor inspector. The competent labor inspector is the labor inspector of the place of work. There he will be claiming payment in lieu of notice. There he will be claiming damages for the non-issuance of the dismissal letter with reasons for the dismissal. And of course, there is also usually what we call severance pay, and maybe damages for the wrongful dismissal, and any other amount your employer may be owing you, because there are certain companies where you find workers are bound to make certain contributions which they claim at the end. And it is for the employer to prove that the dismissal was not wrongful. It is not you, the employee, to prove. The employee just have to make your claim, and the employer has to prove that the dismissal was not wrongful. And once it is proved that the dismissal was wrongful, and if the employer recognizes it, at the level of the level inspector, you will sign a statement of conciliation, of total conciliation. If he agrees on certain claims and not others, you may sign a statement of partial conciliation. If you don't agree at all, means the employee is making a claim which the employer does not recognize, you sign a statement of non-conciliation. With that statement of non-conciliation, you take it to the court and file it. That is now a labor case. You file it in the labor court. And labor matters are like free of charge. But in Cameroon, nothing is actually free, because even the government schools are not free. If there's a statement of total conciliation or partial conciliation, you should take that statement signed by both parties and endorsed by the labor inspector to the court for endorsement for the executive formula, which you can now execute on the employer's property. They are really very common. The labor courts in Cameroon are flooded with cases because cases of wrongful dismissals are many. You see, most companies have their lawyers, and some of them are paid per month. Lawyers who are paid per month or every quarter are lawyers who are consulted once the client has anything he doubts. But the clients, they hardly consult the lawyer. They take their decisions without consulting the lawyer. If the employers always consult their lawyers, there will be fewer cases of wrongful dismissal. I'm advising the employer to always consult his lawyer before he takes any decision when it concerns dismissal. You see, the white people, they are different. Once I was consulted by a company, a multinational company, to prepare them a data bank for dismissing their workers. They gave me all the scenarios. There are different scenarios under which you can dismiss a worker. You can dismiss a worker for economic reasons. A worker can resign, and the employer can also dismiss the worker. Under these three circumstances, the conditions and the procedure for dismissals are not the same. So the company asked me to prepare a data bank for them. That was in 2007. And the company is working in this country, and I'm doing other things for the company, but the company has never consulted me again for any labor issue, because they follow exactly the procedure I gave them for every dismissal. So I advise companies to do the same. Either they constantly ask their lawyer what to do, or they can ask the lawyer to prepare a data bank for dismissing workers.
We'll go to something else, is that if you think there is a case of wrongful dismissal, you have the right to seek redress. So get a lawyer, get legal advice, get a counselor, somebody to tell you exactly what could be going on and how you can get compensation. Some people have, and they have had compensation, and some have not. It's life. But if you don't try, you don't know. Charles Ebune, good morning.
Hello, Pochi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Well, you're here, so we talk about Trump, who is meeting a world leader who is always in fact, it's a meeting that the world is going to be talking about for long. But why are you holding this announcement for a fashion event? Where is the link? Is Trump invited to this fashion event?
I like reading everything. I read everything I see.
Well, I'm teasing you. That's another way to say there's a fashion event coming up. But please, let's talk about Trump.
Sure. You know, the president made so many pronouncements when he was running for office.
We all heard.
We all heard. One of them was that when I come to office, I'm going to tear all those trade deals. You see, North Korea is a miserable country. But this is particularly what Donald Trump said about the North Korean leader. That he is a dictator, that is somebody who doesn't know anything, that this. If he comes to power, the policy of strategic patience, which the Americans have been exercising over the years, is going to come to an end. And that these are dictators that the world should not even have. But unfortunately, President Trump now says he will be honored, he will be happy, he will be so glad to sit on the same table, talk, meet, discuss one-on-one with Kim Jong-un. And he explains it in a very simple manner through his White House press secretary, Sean Spicer. The argument is that Kim Jong-un, 26, when he came to office, is a very young guy who met very powerful people in North Korea. As a young man, he has succeeded to overcome the enemies around him, which means...
That's a young man who killed his uncle.
There is no proof to that. It is alleged that he killed the uncle. Absolutely. Because anything that comes from North Korea, and especially material that comes from BBC, CNN, and Euronews, you have to be very careful because there is an ideology of selling democracy which you need to understand the way the material is put. I don't doubt the quality of the news they bring from there, but caution is very important. Yeah. So the guy says, if this guy can succeed to overcome all these powerful lords he met in North Korea, then probably he should be a guy who is smart, a smart, cocky guy.
That I sit with him.
I can sit and discuss. Anyway, the real issue is President Donald Trump is unable to get a Chinese support for a military action in North Korea. He has realized that this is the backyard of the Russians. And the moment he does that for a military onslaught, the Russians and the Chinese will not betray their traditional ally, and that will put Japan and South Korea, two of America's strategic partners in the Asian Peninsula, in a difficult position. And that in itself may produce a nuclear war which nobody is ready for the moment. So, when you don't get support from those you are expected to get support, you have to toe down. Simply put, as he himself has said it, he thought being president of the United States of America was going to be easier. But the U.S. is a country of institutions. The processes are too long.
Indeed. We've seen that even with Obama, he had a lot of
he said, when the first day I come to office, I'm going to close Guantanamo.
It didn't happen. So
he left the White House without closing Guantanamo.
And I think by the time Trump leaves, there will be a longer list because he said far more than Obama said he would do. So I am thinking that gradually, step by step, he will see what can be done and what cannot be done. But when you were talking about allies, the backyard of Russia, wars, and people coming together to either block or open a way for something, I was like, do you sometimes feel like we could be preparing for a third world war?
That would be very, very difficult. Since 1945, the world is made up of material that when we use, everybody will be affected. In short, it is bad news, but it is good news at the same time. The existence of a nuclear bomb more powerful than those which were used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. Chemical weapons. And the existence of such weapons puts everybody at the same level of nuclear parity, especially at the level of the United States and Russia. So if you use it in the United States, the Russians will retaliate, the Israelis will retaliate, Pakistanis will retaliate. So everybody is afraid to live in a chaotic situation.
It's like when you enter
that is why when the Americans threaten nuclear weapons, the Russians will say, okay, please, don't forget you are not the only person who has this. The Indians will say, okay, if you use, then I will strike this level. So everybody is going to suffer from what I will call collateral damage.
You enter a dog house and all the dogs are like this. It's like the first person to move
instead of action,
bite.
instead of action, which he said,
yes,
is going to fall in the old rhetorics of American politics. He's going to talk like Hillary Clinton.
And time will pass, and we journalists will just be watching and talking. Isn't the world a beautiful place? Charles Ebune, thank you for coming.
You are very much welcome.
I'm looking forward to seeing. Now I can give you chocolate because I didn't want to water your mouth in the middle of... what has chocolate got to do with my mortar and my pestle?
I must exhibit my natural attitudes.
This guy, okay, you are naturally a villager, and you exhibit your no insult, man.
No, it's not an insult. It's not an insult. This is a set full of fun.
I'm a villager, you know. When I'm stressed up, I go to Bambalang. You don't know, it's the most peaceful of places. So yeah, I'm a villager. Charles Ebune, take a chocolate. Well, right now, I would like to...
I'm not comfortable to eat chocolate in the morning.
You are not.
Mommy, I don't like this.
You are a real... And I'm grateful.
No, Mommy, in the absence of anything, I can get this.
I was going to take you for our special guest slot. Thank you, Charles Ebune. I was struggling with that, and today on our our guest slot is actually a jumble of a few things. We're talking about the National Commission on Bilingualism and Multiculturalism. Moki Edwin met with some persons who had a comment about that commission, and he also met with the head of that commission and put together a package for today. Please, let's watch.
How do you judge people? You judge them from their actions. You have to wait for them to start their job, and then we'll be able to judge them. Sometimes it's not necessarily the career or the profession or your academic career that matters when you have to take on an assignment. But what matters is your commitment and what you do on the ground. But I think what interests me the most is the fact that there's a youth leader in the commission. There is a former minister of culture in the commission. There is someone who has worked very hard on promoting African values, George Ngwane. So I think these are people that, to my understanding, will have so much to do, will have an impact towards the work of this commission. I think the first thing is making sure that bilingualism becomes part and parcel of our daily life in Cameroon. What do I mean by that? That we should get to a level where each and everyone in this country should be able to understand or speak either of the languages, both languages.
This commission is called upon to solve problems with respect to the mutual living conditions of this country, pluralism of the state, and national unity. And I think that it has men of integrity, men who are experienced and committed and dedicated. And that is a very important condition for success in the responsibilities of the commission. It should be to look at the various setups in terms of the expectations of the state, the legal instruments, as well as looking at what the African Union and United Nations expects for pluralism, because the United Nations does have conditions and commissions for people living together. And I think that it's important to have all of these instruments together so that they will inform the decisions that are made in terms of ensuring that we live together in harmony.
It is for them to create a participatory mechanism that should assemble and reassemble various actors in the domain of bilingualism and culture to enable them accompany these appointed members to realize the mission that has been assigned to them. It is that we have a lot of resources around the country. We have men and women who are blessed to have been animated the areas of culture and bilingualism in this country, who were not privileged to have been appointed. They should give them an opportunity to make a contribution. Everybody matters in this country. Everybody has value, and everybody should give value to this commission that has been created and put in place today. And by the grace of the Almighty God, I am sure that things are no longer going to be the same. Bring the ideas together and reach out to the many who are outside. If you want to say practically in terms of what should they be doing immediately, it is like they are not conscious of what is prevailing in the country today. The many agitations, the many concerns that are being raised by Cameroonians, especially English-speaking Cameroonians, can have some response, some response from this committee that has been created. And that should be a good beginning, so that tempers that are high should be calmed, spirits that are hurt should be relieved, and where there is despair, hope should be transmitted to the various group of people.
Commission is bilingualism and multiculturalism, and Cameroon is very diversified. In more than 250 cultures tells us that we cannot first of all have one unique culture, but a complete blend of all will make us have a culture that each person is identified, and with that identification it makes people live better. And considering all what is happening, we hope that the commission has been put in place will go down to the grassroots and get the veritable problem and get into solutions that can help make Cameroon the one and united country that we are.
They should straight away get into seeing how the various cultures should be institutionalized so that one culture does not assimilate the other. We need our cultures. They are the basis of the diversity we are so much proud of. So they should follow the Canadian model, which institutionalizes the various cultures and legacies that the people who constitute Cameroon have brought along into this union.
I was taken aback by the organization and the smooth running of it. It's wonderful. Well organized, everything in place, the ballot and so on. It's a wonderful.
What do you expect from the commission now?
Well, I expect that it will improve the situation of bilingualism and multiculturalism. Immediately, they know what to do to improve it. They are all bilingual. They are all bilingual in French, and they come from different cultures.
It is a move in the right direction to consolidate our national unity and to promote bilingualism. You know, lately there have been upheavals in the nation concerning bilingualism, marginalization, and you name it. So I think when you look at the caliber of the people the head of state has chosen to head this commission, you have no doubts in your mind that they will do the job. And there is one thing that really interests me in the whole show. You can create a commission to promote bilingualism, multicultural, and so on, but if there is no spirit of love, it will go nowhere. I think that commission has reminded Cameroonians that wherever we are, work and live, we are first of all Cameroonians. And if there is that spirit of love, you love your brother as you love yourself, you love your neighbor as you love yourself. You don't talk about this person is from the north, south, west, east, and so on. We're all Cameroonians with equal opportunities. The nation will go ahead.
First of all, I must say I'm very glad that in this group of 14 dynamic personalities, there is a young person among of 34 years old. I think his voice in this commission is going to be very important as far as young people are concerned. We're talking about bilingualism and multiculturalism. I want to talk about the multiculturalism, which is very important. His voice is supposed to be very, very representative in this group to make sure that in any national planning, we should build an inclusive society that takes into consideration the different aspects of our culture, not just that of language. So I think that the head of state has thought it well to make sure that young people should be included on any policy table. I'm very proud that Jean-Marc Afesim-Bafo is among this group. The young people of Cameroon count very much on his voice in this group to make sure that we build an inclusive society where young people are also very much respected. Is that they have to come up with a plan of action to let us know, what are the aspects that they are going to target that will immediately create an impact. Because Cameroonians are waiting anxiously to see the impact. We have to make sure that they go scrutinize all the aspects of national life where bilingualism is being disrespected. They have to start correcting it immediately. I must appreciate the bilingualism that we saw in the hall with the master of ceremony. We want to make sure that every aspect of national life, bilingualism should be respected. As far as culture is concerned, we still have a lot to hear from them, how they are going to make sure that our cultures are respected in every aspect of national life.
Well, the commission, you can see for yourself, on the day of it, in commissioning them in, they have brought already the components of the cultural settings of our country to display here, to show that we belong to one and indivisible state. And of course, you can see the whole world has gathered here, assembled here today. And I thought they have admired already culture being exhibited. Not to talk of the bilingualism, of course, itself. The commissioning exercise has taken into account all of these elements, and I'm sure it's a good start for the commission itself. They have an agenda. They shall have an agenda in order to make it practicable. But they are, of course, the body itself is a watchdog for all aspects of the two languages going to interplay. So we are sure that from even the booklet, the program today, you have seen already that there are technocrats who are ready to do the job. And I think Mr. Mafani Musonge is well set to do that.
The members of the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism have begun work. Barely hours after the installation, the Commission has held its first ordinary session, presided over by its chair, Peter Mafani Musonge. With us in the studio is the chair of that commission. Good evening, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Esther.
It's our pleasure to have you on the 7:30 News.
Thank you very much.
That first ordinary plenary sitting today, what was it about?
Well, after our installation yesterday, a grandiose installation for that matter, we thought we should meet and get to know ourselves better. We had not known ourselves before our appointment, so yesterday we decided that today we should show to Cameroonians that we're ready to face the task, the assignment that has been given us by the head of state. And so we met today, we got to know ourselves better, and we also decided to look at some matters which will guide our work. For example, we thought of the ingredients that will get into our making our plan of action. And we fixed a date when we all have to send information on short-term measures, medium-term measures, and long-term measures that we're going to take. So we fixed a date for ourselves. In 10 days, we should all respond. And on the 25th of May, we're going to meet again, have another meeting, and during that meeting, we hope we'll come out with a plan of action.
What is this commission going to be correcting, if we may ask? The Commission on the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism. What is that commission coming to correct?
Well, we want to raise the awareness of fellow Cameroonians that our two languages, the two official languages, are very important tools we have in our relations with one another, in our relations with the outside world, in doing business, in our studies, in technology, and that they are a wonderful asset. And the constitutional provision gives them equal status. No one language is superior to the other. And so we're going to do everything to make sure that the languages are at par in all that we do. Government services will have to apply the bilingualism. All organizations which receive grants from the state will have to improve on their bilingualism. So Cameroonians, whether they are English speaking or French speaking, if they go for services, they should be treated fairly and justly.
The role of the Commission is multifaceted. Bilingualism is one aspect, multiculturalism is another aspect. Cameroonians are expecting to know how that Commission is going to promote multiculturalism, given the fact that Cameroon has over 250 ethnic groups. So how would you go about it?
Well, we're just starting, but it would appear that Cameroonians themselves, we have experts, we have professors, we have the Ministry of Arts and Culture, which have done considerable work along this line, and we're going to look at those studies and see what they recommended and take the best out of it and begin to apply it. I think we're doing fairly well living together, trying to understand the other cultures that surround us. For example, I'm a fan of Eru. I'm a Bakuri man, but I eat Eru, I like it. I eat quem, I like it. That's from another culture. And so those are riches we have in Cameroon, and we ought to valorize them for the good of our country.
And how do you think Cameroonians can access your commission?
We hope to use the modern methods of communication. We should have a website. People should be able to contact us by the modern methods of communication.
Okay.
They can complain, those who are discriminated against, those who have problems. They should feel free to contact us at any time. This is one of the first things we're going to do. Have a postal address. We're going to have a website.
Absolutely.
An email address. And we hope that they'll be able to contact us as necessary.
Senator Peter Mafani Musonge, Chair of the National Commission on the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism, I'll definitely not let you go without asking you this question. Do you think your commission is going to solve some of the problems that have been raised by the recent upheavals?
We intend to look at it because one of the attributes we have is that if the head of state thinks it proper, is going to assign to us the role of mediation. We're going to prepare ourselves while waiting perhaps that he could give us an assignment along those lines, and we'll be happy to do it.
Your last words to the audience.
My last word to the audience is that they should be very happy with this commission that has been created by the head of state. I think it was inspiration from heaven itself. It's a commission which is going to work for Cameroonians. It's going to work for Cameroonians. Cameroonians are free to send us their proposals because it is their commission, and we're there to solve problems so that we improve our living together.
Thank you very much, sir, for being our guest.
It's 8 o'clock here in the studio, and time for us to bring you the news in the French language with Marie-Laurence Kay, who is already here in the studio. But we take a moment of publicity.
Ex-Malea, la fierté du Cameroun et de l'Afrique, se prononce. Concert géant, Campus Tour 2017, samedi 6 mai, 16h. Stade Sénagès de Tchon. Ex-Malea face à l'avenir.
On est là, c'est le groupe Ex-Malea. Nous vous donnons rendez-vous ce 6 mai pour un grand concert au Sénagès. Premier concert du Campus Tour, juste pour les populations de Tchon.
Tu es ma beauté, mon chocolat, mon diamant, ma Ferrari, ma beauté.
Samedi 6 mai à Tchon, concert époustouflant. Ex-Malea met le feu, les étudiants et la ville de Tchon brûlent de chaud. Campus Tour, Ex-Malea, samedi 6 mai, Stade Sénagès de Tchon. Show concert live explosif. Samedi 6 mai, 16h, Ex-Malea en concert. Récupère la case. Campus Tour, le Cameroun est debout. Samedi 6 mai, Tchon, Ex-Malea en concert inédit.
La force syrienne est de retour et va vous en mettre plein les yeux à la maison du parti du Foudi à Yaoundé. Du 10 avril au 10 mai, faites le plein avec les merveilles syriennes. Salon de qualité, tapis, lustres en plaqué or, rideaux haut de gamme, matelas médical, accessoires pour ameublement, robes de mariage, vêtements et chaussures pour hommes, femmes et enfants. Parfum, maquillage, bijoux, on n'oublie pas la confection gratuite de vos rideaux. Tous les jours de 10h à 19h. La déco orientale plus ultra à la foire syrienne. Tous les jours du 10 avril au 10 mai.
Madame, Monsieur, bonjour et bienvenue aux 8h sur la CATV. Examen de fin d'année, les épreuves pratiques obligatoires et celles d'admissibilité des brevets professionnels démarrent ce mardi 2 mai 2017 dans les différents centres d'examen. C'est le premier examen officiel de l'année scolaire 2016-2017. La Commission nationale des droits de l'homme et des libertés organise aujourd'hui une conférence débat sur le thème « Enjeux, défis et perspectives de l'emploi des personnes handicapées au Cameroun ». Ce sera dès 9h dans la salle des conférences de la Chambre d'agriculture, ici même à Yaoundé. Et en santé, on célèbre ce mardi la 20e journée mondiale de lutte contre l'asthme, occasion de reparler de cette maladie qui se manifeste par des sifflements, des difficultés respiratoires et la toux nocturne. Hier encore, on célébrait la 131e édition de la Journée internationale du travail. Au Cameroun, plus précisément à Yaoundé, le boulevard du 20 mai a servi de cadre aux manifestations, occasion pour les syndicats de faire le plaidoyer pour de meilleures conditions de travail en faveur des employés. Oswald Modo est au boulevard du 20 mai, suivons son reportage.
Au Cameroun et donc à Yaoundé, ce 1er mai n'aura pas beaucoup ressemblé au précédent. Et pour cause, une cohésion sociale quelque peu mise à mal dans les régions anglophones du pays, résultant de revendications de certains syndicalistes. Normal donc que le sujet se soit invité dans les interventions des centrales syndicales au boulevard du 20 mai pour déplorer le fait et souligner leur attachement à un Cameroun uni. Cela n'a pour autant pas occulté le traditionnel combat des syndicats pour le mieux-être des employés. Même si beaucoup reste encore à faire, pour le ministre du Travail et de la Sécurité sociale, un long trajet a déjà été parcouru.
Les syndicats et organisations patronales doivent aussi intensifier la formation de leurs membres et intégrer un niveau de veille élevé pour que les attentes légitimes des travailleurs ne soient pas instrumentalisées à des fins personnelles aux dépens de la République et de ses valeurs.
La fin des discours permet au train du défilé de s'ébranler. Dans la locomotive, les différents syndicats reconnus comme tels. Puis, ces interminables wagons peuvent se succéder les uns aux autres sur les rails du boulevard du 20 mai. Le secteur bancaire en tête. Dans la tribune, aux côtés du ministre du Travail et de la Sécurité sociale, tout un parterre de membres du gouvernement assiste à la parade. Celle-ci est d'ailleurs très colorée, avec le vert ou jaune, plus que jamais symbole de fierté. Tous les secteurs d'activité ont massivement répondu présents au nom de la Journée internationale du travail. Les professionnels de la communication sont bien de la partie. La Cameroun Radio Television reste fidèle à son slogan. Ses personnels le démontrent plutôt bien. Au fil des heures, les carrés s'étirent à l'infini. Les travailleurs sont sortis en masse. Le secteur privé a ratissé large, comme à son habitude. Les administrations publiques mettent aussi du leur, dans une célébration qui donne et redonne à voir à chaque passage. La marche revêt un double caractère. La revendication pour de meilleures conditions de travail, certes, mais aussi la fierté d'appartenir à la famille internationale des travailleurs. C'est d'ailleurs ce dernier caractère qui transparaît chez la quasi-totalité des participants. Les sons des fanfares qui accompagnent les défilants baissent enfin d'une tonalité au bout de 5 heures d'horloge pour mettre un terme à cette marche du 1er mai à Yaoundé.
Dialogue social, croissance économique et cohésion nationale, un thème qui vient conforter la position des syndicats camerounais. Le ministre du Travail et de la Sécurité sociale qui présidait la cérémonie a invité les travailleurs à garder à l'esprit les valeurs d'unité et d'indivisibilité du Cameroun. Agnès Solange à Bessolo.
Le mouvement syndical s'invite au débat socio-politique national. Le message du secrétaire général de la Confédération des syndicats indépendants du Cameroun se veut contextuel. Avec la menace terroriste quasi permanente dans la partie septentrionale du pays, ajoutée aux revendications des syndicats des enseignants et confréries d'avocats d'expression anglaise, finalement récupérés par des activistes, la CSIC réprimande de telles balourdises et appelle à faire chorus tout en privilégiant l'intérêt commun. L'Union des syndicats libres du Cameroun va se montrer caustique dans ses propos. En ce qui concerne le dialogue social qu'il prône mais dont il dénonce le dysfonctionnement puisque les inégalités sociales restent criardes malgré la signature de multiples conventions collectives. L'USLC déplore aussi que les travailleurs subissent encore les licenciements abusifs. L'Union des syndicats libres du Cameroun propose un dialogue qui implique à la fois l'employeur, le travailleur et le gouvernement. Projet déjà existant va renchérir le ministre du Travail et de la Sécurité sociale. Grégoire Ouna va rappeler que plusieurs instances d'échange tripartites ont été mises en place dans son département ministériel pour favoriser un dialogue constructif.
Nous devons beaucoup travailler pour avancer.
Rappelons que 8 heures au travail devrait signifier 8 heures de travail dûment réalisées et convenablement rémunérées.
Des interventions en somme qui n'ont pas manqué d'opportunités.
L'espace des revendications sociales a cédé la place aux réjouissances populaires et notre reporter Martine Noël Dengue a fait le tour de quelques administrations publiques et autres entreprises suivant son reportage.
Communion en toute décontraction, les dirigeants et le personnel, ensemble pour célébrer la 131e édition de la Fête internationale du travail. L'édition 2017 de la Fête du travail est un baptême de feu pour les travailleurs de la Société nationale de transport d'électricité.
Comme c'est une nouvelle société, nous avons du boulot et je crois que c'est un symbole, un signal très fort. Et dès demain, nous allons commencer avec la petite équipe que vous avez vue déjà, vraiment à mettre en œuvre la politique du chef de l'État qui vise, n'est-ce pas, l'amélioration de l'offre de l'électricité dans notre pays.
Des réjouissances, oui, mais sans oublier le plus important, la situation du travailleur au Cameroun. Entre deux prestations d'artistes, patrons, représentants des syndicats et délégués du personnel se succèdent au pupitre. Seulement, l'ambiance reprend vite le dessus sur les discours. Chacun fait ressortir son talent de danseur ou encore de chanteur d'un jour.
On est tous contents, vous voyez bien, avec tout le personnel, un seul mot, la fraternité.
La nuit sera longue pour les travailleurs, seulement il ne faut pas oublier, le mardi 2 mai n'est pas férié.
Le cercle des amis du Cameroun était à Bipindi, dans l'océan région du Sud. Pendant 2 jours, les dames du CERAC ont enchaîné visites de courtoisie, escales touristiques et des tours historiques dans la grande forêt du Sud. Tout ceci sous la coordination de la représentante de la première dame, Madame Linda Yang. Itinéraire d'une journée, c'est avec Régine Gladys Lebouda.
Les arbres des Bingambo relaient l'écho de leur joie. Les Ngumba chantent et dansent leur bonheur de recevoir le CERAC sur les terres de l'Olodorf. Pour l'escale de bienvenue, on charge les batteries. Petit déjeuner de roi concocté par Mesdames Guiamba et Ndongo à l'entame d'une tournée épuisante sur les chemins glissants de Bipindi. Première épreuve, traverser les mottes de boue qui maculent la route. 2 camions échoueront sur le bas-côté. Mais pas grave, les dames sont équipées pour quelques mètres à pied. L'effort trouve bientôt récompense dans la pureté d'un contact avec la nature et la culture. Détour sans phare dans un campement pygmé de Kwambo. Puis, zeste d'histoire à la résidence de Zenker, l'explorateur. La bâtisse est vieille de plus d'1 siècle. Sur les planches fragiles, les dames du CERAC découvrent Zenker, son héritage, sa bibliothèque et le caveau familial de cet Allemand qui a planté les racines de sa vie dans les forêts de Bipindi.
Zenker, c'est le fondateur, le père fondateur de Bipindi. C'est lui qui amène le cacao, c'est lui qui amène les véas, c'est lui qui amène le café et plusieurs plantes botaniques que je ne peux pas citer cela. On va passer toute la journée.
Leur journée à elle s'est clôturée sur la scène d'une soirée culturelle.
Joli cadeau de Maman Chantal, cadeau Pascal, cadeau royal de la belle caravane.
Les belles rimes annoncent déjà la pluie de charité du lendemain, puisqu'au petit matin, la caravane du CERAC comblera de nombreux dons Bipindi et ses environs.
C'est la fin du 8h de ce mardi matin. Merci de l'avoir suivi. Bonne journée à toi, Pochitamba.
Thank you very much, Marie-Laurence Key.
Merci.
Have a beautiful day ahead.
Merci.
And would you like something nice?
Tu connais mon goût? Pourquoi tu me poses toujours cette question?
Have a beautiful day. Indeed, banana is the choice you should have.
Merci. Je crois que j'ai mon successeur là tout à l'heure.
Yes.
Avec
somebody is coming up for the banana issue. But I'll be seeing you on Thursday. Tomorrow you're here again with Eric Christiania.
Tout à fait.
D'accord. Passe une bonne journée.
Merci.
And see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
See you on Thursday. Right, to send her off though, let's do a freestyle on Hello Cameroon. These are kids you've had on the program before. We're going downtown Kampala to meet ghetto kids. They are doing it again, and we are here to give it to you. Please enjoy Ghetto Kids. At their best. I just love that. Those are kids downtown Kampala in Uganda. But I'm sure that some of you can beat that, right? If you can, don't give mommy or daddy peas until they have videoed you giving your best and then you send it to Pucci. Auntie Pucci will put you on CRTV and we'll all enjoy your talent. I love talent. Talking about talents, there's a fashion show that's going to be taking place very soon, Coco Walls Fashion Night. And there is somebody here who is here for us to talk about it, Prince Echu Tabot. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, Pochi.
Thank you for coming on Hello Cameroon.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
Do you want to tell me about this Coco Walls Fashion Night?
Sure. Cocoa Walls Fashion Night is an event. It's a platform. It's on the second edition now. The maiden edition was last year, May. So we decided to create this annual platform for designers and models all over Cameroon to showcase their creativity. Because we discovered that Cameroonians have talents, a lot of talents. But when they don't have these platforms to showcase, how can they be able to be seen by the rest of the world? So Cocoa Walls decided to set this platform so that every year designers will come from every part of Cameroon to showcase their talents and their creativity. Models too are there who are going to be showcasing their creativity.
How did it go last year?
Last year it was wonderful. We started as usual with the red carpet, and then the event starts properly at 7 through to the night, and an after party. It was just fun last year. A lot of fun.
So this year should be fun.
Sure, especially.
Do you want to tell us the place, the date, everything about where people should be?
I think we should not miss the rendezvous on the 6th of May, Saturday, 6th of May, this Saturday, at the Limbe City Council Hall. It starts from 5, the red carpet, and the event properly starts from 7. The fashion show starts from 7. So you don't want to miss on that, because we're going to have lovely guest artists like Wube, we're going to have Minx, the Galele, we're also going to have Askia and Nerbi Akwen. So we're having a big package for everyone from Cameroon. I mean, why not people from out of Cameroon to come and enjoy what Cameroon has to offer as far as fashion and entertainment is concerned?
Thank you very much, Prince Echu. You talked there about Askia. Askia Karine is a guest we are hoping to have on the program in the coming days. So please stay with Hello Cameroon. We do go after talents. We'll bring them here, and then we'll reveal them to you in ways you think you knew but you didn't. So what special thing do you promise people who are coming, apart from the stars that I've heard already?
Well, we are looking at
a great moment of fashion.
Sure, because we have some partners who are going to be offering some very nice packages. For example, Nextel Cameroon and the Nicholson Investment Group.
Without any publicity.
Without any publicity, please. Going to be doing tickets for people to win their phones. Raffle draw tickets for people to win phones, internet communication credit, internet modems, and all of that.
It's definitely going to be a big moment. So please, if you want to win something awesome, and if you want to have a chance to see firsthand what fashion does in Cameroon, what is the quality of fashion we have in terms of models and in terms of fashion designers, this is an event you don't want to miss. It's Saturday in Limbe. What time?
It's going to be from 5.
From 5
p.m.
o'clock.
5 p.m.
All right. Thank you very much, Prince Echu Tabo Jr., for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
And do not hesitate to let us know how things are moving in what you're doing.
Sure, because the Hello crew is even invited.
Oh, thank you. This is our invitation.
This is your invite.
We love things happening, so definitely.
Maybe I want to mention to the rest of Cameroon that the tickets are very affordable. Just 5,000 francs, you get a ticket and you enjoy your show.
All right. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
And a wonderful show to you. All right. I'm going to switch from you to church matters. We have with us here Reverend Abai Gustave Tabi. I'm not going very far, though, because you're all from Manu. But definitely we're moving to something else.
That was a good coincidence.
Yes, that's a good coincidence. But today we're talking about the General Assembly of the Council of Protestant Churches that is starting today in Yaoundé.
Yes, it's actually starting today, the 2nd, and ends on Sunday, the 7th.
Okay.
And it's the General Assembly of all Protestant churches and all Protestants. Okay. So we're here because without the Protestants themselves being at the opening and the closing services, then the ceremony is not perfect.
All right.
So we're hoping that, first of all, we want every Protestant in Yaoundé to be at EPC Mesatu this afternoon at 3 p.m. for the opening service.
Okay. Do you want to, just something to help us understand, why is the church called the Protestant Church? Do you want to quickly, in a few words?
Yes, actually, the Council of Protestant Churches in Cameroon is the body that kind of settles Protestant matters or represents Protestants in this country. In Cameroon, there are 3 councils. There is the National Episcopal Council for the Roman Catholics, there is the Protestant Council for the Protestants, and then there is the Islamic Council. We are the branch. We form 9 million Cameroonians, 15,000 churches, congregations. We have 10,000 pastors, 1,800 schools, 350 hospitals, and 15 institutions of higher learning that form this body. So it is one of the most important councils around the world. And we represent all Protestant matters when it comes to education, health, all of it. with the government, with other international organizations, with any activity with foreign partners like the Federation in Europe or Protestant churches, the Federation in France, in Germany. So we in Cameroon from the council is actually the baby of
the government, or
the baby of the Fédération des Églises Mission Évangélique du Cameroon. That was FEMEC. It used to be very popular, formed in 1941.
Right.
So we are one of the oldest organizations in the country.
Okay. Tell me about what will be the agenda. I see there's a theme here about citizenship for peace.
Yes. Somebody asked me recently, does the church speak about citizenship? The truth is the issues happening in the country now, we cannot separate ourselves from the church and the people. Because the people who are struggling with the issues in Cameroon today are our members in our churches. We have Boko Haram in the north, we have the issues of land in the east, we have the Anglophone problem in the southwest and the northwest. So we in this General Assembly ask ourselves, what would we as a council be if we don't address the issue? That is why we choose a theme, what citizenship for peace in Cameroon, and we choose it from John 14:27, where Jesus says, I give you my peace, not as the world gives. So we're talking about the kind of peace and the contribution of the Protestant churches to the issues of peace in Cameroon. You know very well that the person who affects our lives most is our man of God.
Exactly.
And there are many issues that we can resolve in this country once the churches begin to appropriate the issues and begin to speak out in an objective way.
I have somebody who said, and no offense intended, that the church is the opium of the masses.
Yeah.
In a simple word, it means that people do not question the church. They do not question their pastors, their priests, so they just take what they say. So it's probably the best place to talk about citizenship so that we can all be better persons.
And peace and development and justice.
Okay. Thank you very much, Reverend Ebai Gustav Tabi. I wish you a wonderful session.
Thank
and
you.
I also wish that the discussions you engage in will go well beyond the walls of the Protestant churches.
That is what we hope, and that's why we're hoping that Protestants will pay attention to the General Assembly and the declarations that come from this General Assembly, so that they can know that they have a role to play. We can't sit aside and keep calling Jesus without actually caring about the well-being of the nation and the people.
Of our brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Reverend, can I give you a fruit? Anything?
An orange would do. I mean, your fruits look very fresh. Sometimes
they
on the plateau, people think that these fruits are not fresh. These ones are really fresh.
These are fresh fruits from Cameroonian markets. We get them just the day before.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you. And bless you.
Keep updating us on what is happening in and around you. We're interested in taking the pulse of the country so early in the morning.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to move there to maybe just a quick transition to let you know that next week on Hello Cameroon, we will be paying tribute. We will be remembering two persons who have made their time and then marked their generation. I'm talking about Silva, one of the artists a reggae artist we lost recently. And I'm also talking about somebody we lost many years ago in 1981, Bob Marley. So next week on Hello Cameroon, we will be having a special focus on these two. You want to stay with us because if you have comments, send to our number. If you have any tribute, any poem, any nice word for these two souls, send to our number, and we will be sharing that next week. But now, let's talk about jobs. You know, in life, they say you are not much if you don't have a job. How will you marry a wife? When I was coming to work this morning, I heard a colleague reading a list of what they have given as bride price, and I was like, Bill Titi needs to come quickly today so that we help some people who have jobs, so that they can start solving some of those problems. Bill Titi, good morning.
Good morning, Pochi.
How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to say I come here, people just call my name. Look at my classmate. You call him Reverend, you call him titles. People just call me anyhow.
Life is unfair, BTT.
You know how Reverend looks like.
Unfair. This is Reverend.
If they tell somebody that Reverend and I sat on the same bench
in school, if you call him Gustav, I will give you a slap. Reverend, you don't mind him.
If you don't...
We studied journalism together, one class, one batch.
One batch.
So you were 1 year ahead of me.
Yeah, 1 year.
I can also call him Gustav.
You can. Then now you cannot because there's already Reverend.
No, Reverend, with all due respect, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
no,
me.
of course, we enjoy knowing people further.
Yes.
It's my pleasure to know your GMC.
Yeah, I am.
So you know when I talk about the Pope.
You can say that
yes,
again.
So, yes,
Good.
tell us about jobs.
Okay, good morning. We're having this first one coming from Société Générale. That's the former SGBC Bank. Now it's called Société Générale du Cameroon. They are looking for an account controller who will be able to carry out account analysis. The post for the job, the location is in Douala. And for the qualification, you need to have a master's degree in accounting, in business and finance, in management, in audit, or in a related field. And you need to have a good mastery of basic computer software programs that go with banking and finance. And if you've had 3 years of work experience, you stand a better chance to grab that opportunity. For the documents, you need just your curriculum vitae, a detailed CV that has references. You must have about 3 referees who are going to stand as witnesses to your claim. Now, you just have to send that to the email address you find on the screen, which is recruitment.societegenerale.cameroon@socgen.com. Just get it as you find it written on your screen, copy that out, and send just your CV if you have a degree in the banking sector or in any finance discipline. On the subject of your mail, you put this, that's df/comta/17. df/comta, comta is COMTA /17. 17 stands for a year. So this is their own labeling on the vacancy so that they can easily identify which area to send your application. Deadline is May the 5th. Now, Bolloré Logistics is recruiting a receipt issuant, or let's say biller, those who after having after exercising purchasing works or after having carried out some financial transactions, you need your receipt. Those who issue receipt, they call it receipt issuance. So they're looking for those people to work in their different, let's say, areas of activities. You know, they do in transport, they also carry out activities. Transport is in road and rail. Now, they say you need to be bilingual. Perfectly bilingual, and you need to, be very strong, active, capable of moving from one place to another without any difficulty. Now, you just need to go online, check on your screen the second vacancy. That's http://www.bolloré/transport.logistics.com. When you follow that link, you will see this vacancy announcement. You will see it announced. It's receipt issuant, or they call it, it can be a biller, but you find it even if it's in French. You find it's facturier or facturier, you just click there. You need to be bilingual, that's what I said. So if it's in French, you'll be able to read it. When you follow that link, you apply online. You post, or let's say you upload your CV and send, the documents will go. Now, we're going out to the World Food Program that's looking for a logistics officer to work in Baturi and Betua. For the World Food Program. Here they say must have a first degree in transport or in economics or in logistics. So if you have a first degree in any of those 3 domains, then you stand qualified for the job. You must also be bilingual here, master the basic computer software programs, and you must have 5 years of work experience. You may be working in a similar domain in any organization. For you to apply, you just need to follow the link you find on the screen, the third, which is www.worldfoodprogram.cameroon/logistics officer. When you follow that, you click on that link, the vacancy announcement comes on screen, you read it, follow the steps, you apply online. Now, World Food Program, again, they are looking for a business support assistant to work in Marwa, to work in Douala, to work in Gaoundéré, to work in Betua, to work in Kusiri. So this is for business support assistant. It's not going to be one person. They are looking for business support assistant in these various towns. You need to have at least the HND in secretariat services, in business administration, office management, or in accounting. If you have it in a finance-related discipline, you stand a chance to apply as business support assistant. You follow the same link, going online and www on your search engine, putting World Food Program Cameroon / business support assistant. Just put in the vacancy title and the information comes on screen. You follow that, which comes on, and then you apply. We're ending still with the World Food Program, but this time they're looking for a program officer. You know, they are in the fight against hunger, malnutrition, ensuring that there's food security, especially in areas like the east and the northern parts of the country where we have a good number of vulnerable persons. Now, they say you must have a master's degree in agriculture, in economics, in nutrition, or in management or program management. So if you have a master's degree in any of those disciplines, you can apply to work as program officer with the World Food Program in these towns that I just listed. The same procedure to apply. Just go to on the search engine www, put World Food Program Cameroon / program officer, and then you click on search. It comes on, follow the steps, drop the documents that you need, click on your send button, and that may just be the magic. As we wish you good luck, sure hoping you'll come back and testify. Thank you very much.
And we'll be here to tell your story if you choose to come back and testify. Beauty T, yes. I'm trying to send you out of this.
I like the way you are so fast in serving me. I like it.
Let's take a moment of advertisement and then we'll continue the show.
Thank you.
Ex-Malea, la fierté du Cameroun et de l'Afrique, se prononce concert géant. Campus Tour 2017, samedi 6 mai, 16h. Stade Sénagès de Tchon. Ex-Malea face à l'avenir.
Inch'Allah, c'est le groupe Ex-Malea. Nous vous donnons rendez-vous ce 6 mai pour un grand concert au Sénagès. Premier concert du Campus Tour, juste pour les populations de Tchon.
Tu es ma beauté, mon chocolat, mon diamant, ma Ferrari, ma beauté.
Samedi 6 mai à Tchon, concert époustouflant. Ex-Malea met le feu, les étudiants et la ville de Tchon brûlent de chaud. Campus Tour, Ex-Malea, samedi 6 mai, Stade Sénagès de Tchon. Show concert live explosif. Samedi 6 mai, 16h, Ex-Malea en concert. Ratez pas l'occasion. Campus Tour, le Cameroun est debout. Samedi 6 mai, Tchon, Ex-Malea en concert inédit.
Hey Etienne, what brings you here today?
Dear fathers and mothers, do you know fever is not always malaria? Malaria must always be diagnosed before it is treated. The rapid diagnostic test RDT for malaria is now available. It is free of charge for children between 0 and 5 years old and just 200 francs for everyone else. If a member of your family has fever, go immediately to the community health worker or nearest health center to do a rapid diagnostic test for malaria. Always do a rapid diagnostic test for malaria before taking treatment. This is a message from the Ministry of Public Health and its partners.
Rien n'est plus agréable que de préparer des pâtes ensemble, avec des ingrédients frais, une bonne sauce faite maison. Les spaghettis et macaronis Broly, fabriqués à partir du meilleur blé dur, plein de nutriments et fibres pour une meilleure digestion. Les pâtes Broly sont prêtes en moins de 7 minutes et ne collent pas. Choisissez les pâtes Broly, les pâtes fines et délicieuses qui ne collent pas.
Broly, la passion de bien nourrir.
We're continuing to talk about Labour Day, and Mercy Ashu is here, with whom we're going to look at how the 131st edition of the Labour Day went on. How are you, ma'am?
Fine. Good morning, Puchi.
Good morning. I'm enjoying your dress, but let's not talk about that now. Let's talk about Labour Day.
Oh, yeah, Puchi. I think that we all had a splendid time yesterday, for those who had to march, for those who had to follow the commentaries, wherever you were enjoying it. But the thing I want to talk about, which I didn't get to talk about last week, are some of those things that can make work really interesting for the worker.
Tell me about
and that is about research. You get into a new job. Yes, maybe you came in with a first degree. At a point in time, you want to go back to school, and add value to yourself. And that is what companies that have a vision do. They invest in their workers.
Okay.
They send them out on training.
On-the-job training.
On-the-job training. There's also in-house training. Why am I saying this? Because we can all be journalists. I always like to use CRTV because you cannot call me, talk about the transport sector, for example, or talk about the forestry sector, which I don't master. But if I talk about what we do, journalism and mass communication, it's you are a presenter, you're presenting a program, and you are a TV journalist, but it's not the same experience for a radio journalist because what you hear is the voice. Maybe at this point...
So your voice has to do more job. You know, it has to be better.
That is what sells you. That's the first thing. Before people even get to start looking at what you are dishing out to them in terms of content, in terms of value, if it makes sense and all that.
Relevance to them.
Yeah, but the difference between you and a radio journalist is that there's a lot more to do with image building when it comes to Pochit Tamba, for example, presenting Hello. There's a lot. It's not just about the personality, because there's a person and there's a personality. So it has to do with image building. It has to do with lots of things, for example.
And it's also the image of the company, because you need to master, keep control, and know exactly what your presenters, your broadcasters are selling concerning your company.
Of course. And let me just use another example here. As a presenter, for example, you would have to master how to, interview different groups of people who come on set, from the middle class
to the pastor who came
to every kind of person in society. So that's what our profession has to, that's what we do in this profession. And the reason why I say this, Poch, is because last week when I was attending that conference, a lot of issues that we neglect came on the table.
Au Cameroun et donc à Yaoundé, ce premier mène.
They're talking about a system which we've developed where you leave your house, you're going to work. Yes, you're working for the money, but there is no focus as to what new can I can I add to my company today? I'm just going to work so that at the end of the month you get your pay back and go home, take care of your family. And at the end of the day, it's not just about working, because you're going to leave that job someday.
Those are images of Labor Day in Yaoundé.
Yeah, you're going to leave that job someday, and there is something inside everyone that when you leave your employer, let me put it that way, when you leave your employer, because your employer pays you for the job you do. But then when you are no longer a worker in that company, and maybe you are a retiree, if there is any word as such, what is it that you can settle down when you're in retirement? Because nobody actually goes on retirement. Your brain still works. What is it that you can do? Are you that kind of person who has negotiating skills? You want to open up an agency, a communication agency?
Indeed.
These are some of the things that we really need to develop as workers. So without going so much into details, I think after March past, it's the time for reflection.
Today is the 2nd, so Labor Day is past.
Yeah.
It's definitely the moment when we see things like this. On-the-job training, in-house training is good, but most importantly, think of what kind of retired person you want to be. Do you want to be the one who will, I don't know.
People always make
with
reference
all due
to
respect to retired persons, let's not get into that.
Yeah.
But think about your post-work life and how you want it to look like.
I like the word.
Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me.
But I cut you. You were about to say something.
No, I was just going to say that this is a time for reflection on all those things
deep reflection.
Yeah.
It's to help you reflect more, let me give you some chocolate. This is very special chocolate. It's called Mon Chéri, and it came from somebody in fact, somebody who is in my heart.
Thanks.
So, have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you again on Thursday.
All right.
In a short while, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be receiving a lady who comes from France. She's an artist based in France, and she's in Cameroon for a series of music-related reasons. And of course, she's on Hello Cameroon to talk to us about her life. We'll be discovering Kisila K. But now let me give you the weather forecast. For those of you who are not yet out of your homes for all kinds of reasons, please enjoy with us what the weather where you are could be looking like.
Hello Cameroon, in this Tuesday 2 May 2017 in Yaoundé Center region we will have 33 of high temperature, 21 minimum and 29 medium. The weather will be very raining this day. In the littoral Douala we will have 36 high temperature, 26 minimal and 34 medium. The risk of rain up to 60% in the side of littoral. Southwest region in Boya will have 33 of high temperature, 22 minimal and 13 medium. The risk of rain on the sky will be very cloudy with a thunderstorm. West in Bafoussam will have 29 of high temperature, 18 minimal and 24 medium. The risk of rain will be up to 100% with the cloud on the sky. 5 north region Imara show us 42 of high temperature, 28 minimal and 14 medium. The sunshine will be very present in the sky. Let us go to the north region. In Garwa, we will have 39 of high temperature, 26 minimal and 36 medium. The sunshine will be also present in this part of the Cameroon. North rain, south. In Ebolova, we will have 13 of high temperature, 20 minimal and 29 medium. The sky will be very cloudy with the thunderstorm. The rain will be very present in this side. In the northwest region, Baminda will have 27 high temperature, 17 minimal and 24 medium. The sky will be very cloudy with the rain. Let us see the weather of the east. Betwa will have 31 of high temperature, 20 minimal and 29 medium. The sky will be very raining with a cloud in the sky. Adamawa show us 30 of high temperature, 18 minimal and 28 in the side of Ngaoundere. Will have a lot of rain. The sun will rise at 6 a.m. and lying at 6:18 p.m. Stay tuned on the CRTV channel.
You're hearing some bars of music there, and I'm just going to give you a few minutes or more of that before we discover who are those singing in our studio right away.
Maria nuntumtubon magetulanyuza shuna Mansina bon wantum wasu nunki wiba mazabna Kamaria nuntumtubon Ojia shuna Kabeyinga makwangala tatumbu mazama malei Konuzu akakanga Butamba Atung na ba ma jona tiata munyomi babunle ma wante tanu juita but the fashion to bukwi ganum dia to bukwi but the fashion to bukwi.
Here we give you just a foretaste because we want you to go after these artists in one way or the other and help us promote culture. She's called Shura. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
You have a voice of gold. Do you know that?
And
you have a hairdo that is wow. So, but tell me about your singing career. You have a great voice, but how much have you been able to do with your voice?
Okay, I started singing when I was quite young.
Okay.
In choirs and all that. But my father did not really want it. Like, he
don't worry, many parents don't want their children to do music. But it's okay.
Yeah, but the first time he listened to me, like my song, it was no longer the choir thing. It was me.
He heard you alone doing it.
He was like, what was that? Can you do that again? I did it again. It was like, wow, you have it. I really see I've been bringing you down from somewhere where God already placed you, so you go ahead. And then he started supporting me. I started singing professionally 2 years ago, and I got signed last year.
That's a good thing, to get signed. Yeah, and you got a big smile with that. So tell me about it, though. Is there anything special happening in your life this 2017? Any projects to release or to travel?
Yeah, there's so many projects.
Give us some.
My album that will be in 2017. My singles, like we want to release a couple of singles before we get to the album. We started already. We have like 2 singles out there already, and this month, like before it runs out, we'll have another 2 singles that will be coming out, a video and an audio.
Shura, that's her name. Watch out for her, and please give her your full ears, and you'll just be blessed in a wonderful way. Thank you for coming on Hello Cameroon, and please update us about yourself. I like the way you sing, and I want to hear more of it.
Okay.
And your guitarist is doing a good job. You do wonderfully well, man. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right. I'm going to switch from culture to culture. I told you about her, Kisila K, this lady who is just a plane away from us, but she's sitting in the studio of CRTV right now. Kisila, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Thank you for coming. How are you?
Nice to having me here today. I'm really pleased.
Okay. Well, we've been expecting you, and you're here in Cameroon because you have a number of things happening. Do you want to tell us about what you've been doing? What have you been up to?
Yes, I came for the promo of my single that you've already heard about it.
Yeah. I'm going to hold you there, and our producer has an excerpt of that song, Je Yamo Monga, and I'm going to ask you to maybe just show us some images of that while Kisila is telling us about the promotion of that song. Yes, you were saying you're here for that
I came
promotion.
for that promotion, and also for the video shoot of my new single with Dr. Ken. It took place in Boya, and I came back 2 days ago.
Okay.
And also a few performances that I have to do as well. And that's it. I'm here today to talk about that.
All right. How did the shoot go, though?
Excellent, excellent. I really enjoyed working with Dr. Ken. He's one of the best, I can say, not to say the best.
He is among the best indeed. See, I see his work and they are clean. Well done.
They're clean.
So tell me about after the release of this song, because now that you've shot it, it's definitely coming out soon. What are your plans?
I have to come back sometime in summer to carry on with the promotion of that one. It's a maxi single, so I never talk about the album because it's a bit old-fashioned, and I prefer talking about maxi single. And people kept saying, "Do you have an album?" So I put everything together to make it an album. But I have to come back in summer for the big promotion in the nightclubs and. Also in different cities, what they call promo de proximité. So I have to come back and do that.
You can say proximity promo, or
exactly
getting closer to your people. All right. No, it's okay. Your English is good. Do you want to? How is your musical career overall? Are you happy with it? Is it difficult? What are some of your challenges?
I started quite early, but I stopped because of my studies in the UK. So after my MBA, I wanted to do something that might follow up on my passion.
Follow your heart.
Yeah, that's right. Because like the young lady said, my parents never
I know, that's
like that I'm too mature for them to stop me again. So I'm really pleased with my musical career because I do all the programming myself, and I do the writing myself, and I produce myself. Because it's not that I didn't have the chance to be signed, but I created my own label in the UK. I would like to sign youngsters.
And now you're settled in France with your family, is that so?
I'm based in France for the moment, but we may be going back soon.
All right.
If they sign the Brexit, we have to go back to Brexit.
Well, Kisila, thank you so much for coming on Hello Cameroon.
Thank you very much.
And please keep us updated when this song comes out, because we would like to see. There is a baby, I call her a baby because she's so lovely. In Nigeria, she's called Manuela, and she knows how to make people laugh. This is our drama page. I'm going to send out my guest with this one. It's called In-Law. Please just enjoy.
Emanuela, Chiniki, what are you doing here?
I came to visit my friend. Do what I do.
I was just passing.
It's a lie. I know you have come to say attitude.
Is she around?
I don't know.
Shut up, is she around?
She's inside the kitchen.
Is her dad around?
Can't you see the curtain is outside? So her dad is around. Her dad went to that. It's her dad is.
Hey!
I just had the block.
Yeah.
Go inside the block. Inside.
Inside here?
Yes, now jump inside there. What up is coming?
Emanuela, why are you laughing?
Nothing. don't point inside the block. Auntie, no, don't point here. Point inside the block. What is that? It's hot water. No, don't point here. I'm not finished here. Point inside that block. Okay. I hope it's boiled water. I have to pour out the water.
Don't kill me!
Jesus! Illa.
It's me. Oh.
In-law. In fact, if somebody calls you in-law, you should be careful. Maybe there's hot water coming your way. All right. Well, that baby called Manuela, she's something. You need to check her out, and she'll add some years to your life. Just by the time you laugh through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of her videos, you will know life is beautiful. Now, let's give you appointments. Let's tell you what's coming up on the CRTV and the things we'd love you to watch. Ruth NJ is right here for that. Hello, Ruth. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Happy Labour's Day.
Indeed. Instead of saying Happy Labour Day, what I tell you is Happy Our Day. All those of us. Thank you very much, Ruth. Happy Labour Day to you.
Thank you. And unfortunately or fortunately, yesterday was a public holiday for others, but for people like us, we had to
turn round the clock.
A show like this today, so we were working. No holiday for us. And on CRTV as well, you realize that there was no public holiday for CRTV because it has to go round the clock. So at 10:30 a.m. this Tuesday morning, we will be talking about agriculture. But now, what kind of agriculture? We'll be talking about horticulture. In agriculture, it's a mechanized kind of agriculture. It's the art of agriculture. Some added stuff to it to get better plants or better refined products. And then we are riding straight to 11 a.m. this morning with the Follow Me crew, and they are talking about Come We Stay.
Okay.
That's pepper.
Like the kind of arrangement where I meet somebody. I was going to say I meet you, but I don't meet you. I meet Charles Ebune.
Yes.
And then we sit together and we stay.
Yes, something like that. They unofficial union. It's a better way to put it. And their guest today will be Dr. Bekono Jean Carvin, Barrister Hemimbu. Of course, there's someone in the house who has to talk about the legal part of it. You have Denise Tafak, you have also Osla Bisongo, and of course, Chef Javier. And if you want to participate on the program, just log in at 11 a.m. this morning. But if you are not able to watch your TV screens, you can give your comment on Follow Me CRTV. That's on Facebook. You can log on to Facebook and give your comments and suggestions. And you can also give topics for the show. Why not something you feel women should talk about? And stay tuned at 11 a.m. this morning. And then at 4 this afternoon, you're having our culture, our heritage. They are still in the Festac season, and they are bringing some culture, cultural aspects of the Festac. That's our culture, our heritage. It's a program that replaced Monday's show on CRTV. You don't want to miss that out. That's the rebroadcast at 4 p.m. this afternoon. Then at 6:30 p.m. you're having this day, and yesterday was Labor Day. And of course you have the accotes of Labor Day, those who drink and those who suleve. Although it's not with mass for women to suleve their kababe, you'll be surprised though. So join the team, Black, Joyce Abige, and Aristide, of course. And then we are going to Wednesday. This is something I wasn't supposed to announce, but I thought we could do it beforehand. That's at 9 p.m. We are having Beyond the Headlines. It's a once in a month program, and it's a newsroom magazine. Beyond the Headlines, and their topic for Wednesday, 9 p.m. is dialogue. Is there a need for dialogue?
There's always need for dialogue, isn't it?
Yes, there is. So, if you want to participate beforehand on that program, you just log on to Facebook Beyond the Headlines, give your comment, your suggestion, if there is need for dialogue. And of course, I believe there's always need for dialogue. But I leave you with CRTV programs. Just stay tuned and stay glued to your TV screens.
If you're watching us right now, you're on the right channel, because on this channel we are committed every day more than ever to serve you and to serve you well. Where we fall, we learn, and where we give you a smile, we are very happy, and we go just in that direction. You see where I'm going to? If you don't, then you're not a regular on this show. I'm going to that moment when Ruth and myself, Ruth. Ruth is with the chocolate. That's the moment where we say she already said it though. We do so swear that in this 2017 we will serve you as much as we can and as best as we can. This is myself, Ruth, everybody that you know, all the faces saying so. It's our commitment. Here we go.
Namaste.
Parce que l'info n'attend pas. We bring it to you firsthand. Because your life is dynamic.
Nous nous adaptons à vos attentes.
Parce que vous méritez ce qu'il y a de mieux. We are up to date with technology.
We bring the news to you wherever you are.
Parce que vous êtes notre miroir, nous vous montrerons le monde like you've never seen it before.
Parce que vos victoires sont les nôtres. We are on all fronts. Because you are precious.
En 2017, partageons ce que nous avons de mieux.
CRTV, au cœur de la nation.
We are committed and we will show you. In fact, we've been showing you. If you have not seen, it's okay. That's life. We will continue to show you until one day you see. You know, when Christ came, even until he died, people did not hear what he was saying.
Yes,
some people heard it like 500 years after. So, all right. Well, it's 9 o'clock and it's a time when Pochi goes out of the studio, so you can start saying amen. Bye-bye, bye. Ruth, thank you for being here at the moment when we're saying bye-bye. We'll be here again on Thursday.
God willing.
God willing. And till then, have a beautiful Tuesday. It's the start of the week and it's the start of the day. What a wonderful opportunity for you to decide how you want it to be. If you're thinking it's gloomy, it's negative, it's dark, please change it right now so your day should be better. Till then, bye.
Bye-bye. Work hard, play hard.
angoisse saumon.